What's two names again? I forgot.
I'm Dan.
Dan?
I'm Mike.
Mike.
There you go.
Don't remember us.
I'm going to remember the guys that give us beer.
Anybody need another one?
Good right this second.
I just like threw my back out trying to get my keys. Whatever.
No, that's a bad idea. That's gonna fall. Are we in 1080p?
We are in 1080p.
Are we in 4K?
720. What is this? What is this? The Stone Age?
I look much better in.
We definitely go low-fi.
What are we broadcasting on ham radios? My baby child. You're so holy, holy, holy. Yours in heaven.
This was probably the moment we came here at 5 o'clock and we're like, I know,
If you smoke it, they will come.
Oh, yeah. Are you, activate that?
Yeah. It took us 45 minutes.
Are you 64 bit?
Yeah, could it be this one? Maybe it's this.
Well, that's 64 channels. Go ahead and try that. Go back to your. Actually, it should be USB. It should be USB going in. So go back to where you select this here.
We were gonna. Well, we had thoughts of doing it in the warehouse. It just gets really cold in there. Yeah, it is.
Oh, there we
There's no
go.
reason to heat that. That thing's cool.
And then your levels and stuff like that. Oh shit. Quite unexpected.
The audacity of audacity.
We don't want that.
It's like intro music.
That's what I was looking for. It's not kick it. Joey Rizzo.
It's weird not being able to hear myself.
It's alright, I got you.
That thing is crazy.
That thing is so cool. I want one. I'm gonna put it
It's
on
like Iron Man.
I'm gonna put it on my Christmas list. Is that considered a synthesizer?
It's got like several synth engines, a sampler, and a drum machine, and a 4-track recording.
Wow.
Effects.
That's insane.
OP1.
Oh, my headphones just went out.
It's not really a sequel, it's a different
Yeah,
great solo company.
that's insane.
One limiting thing is that there's no velocity.
Oh, it's just a click?
On or off. But
Yeah.
you can use an iPad, have other stuff to have a velocity type MIDI keyboard in there.
That's so
The
cool.
whole point is that it's this little package, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would if I bought that, I wouldn't have a life anymore.
The first couple months I had it
Yeah.
was just my obsession, but it's been forever since I've used this thing.
That's
So
like the
cool.
Like I would give that to my kid, like my first toy.
Yeah,
like,
right?
Figure this out for the rest of your life.
Be proud.
Yeah.
The sequencers, like the drums, have monkeys.
Monkeys?
Like they just make it cool.
Why? Yeah, that's amazing.
That's so
Play-
cool.
you-
See, that's how that sequence works.
You're gonna start being able to download games onto it, and then
You're gonna play Block Dude like the calculators.
it's like the calculators,
Yeah,
the
Block Dude.
TI-83.
Block Dude.
Yeah. I had Grand Theft Auto. Oh,
Can we get you guys to say goodnight to my wife?
Oh, there it is.
what's her name again?
Janine.
Okay. Good night,
Good night, Janine.
Good
Sweet
night.
dreams, safe dreams.
Sweet dreams.
I love your husband.
All right, we're ready to.
This is built in. Looks like a helicopter game. Like, why did they put it in there?
Just so you're on it.
Like, stay on this.
All right. By the looks of it, it looks like we're ready to go.
Oh, we've been going. That was like the best intro I've ever had.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that was amazing.
the
we're like
unintentional
going?
intros are always the best.
Oh yeah, we've been going. Yeah,
Awesome.
for like
Because I'll never remember that, Jen.
yeah. It was like,
We got that on tape.
you have that forever. Yeah, five minutes of it.
Perfect.
Yes.
So this is a little different. We switched it up a little bit. Mike,
Joe.
what do you think?
This
What
is
are you
fucking
thinking right
awesome.
now?
Right now, I'm just like, this is the first official live on the mic session with a full on. This is crazy.
Yeah, we got.
I hope you guys walked in here and were like, wow. The same way we walked in after it was set up and was like, wow, this is
'Cause
fucking
we were-
awesome.
Because we see those tiny desk performances and we're like, those are fucking sick. So we're like, why don't we just do our own? And this is like better.
We've
It's
been doing the
honestly, like,
podcast
better.
in his house, in his living room, in these wicker chairs with the dog running around and sparking conversation.
You
with
thought
him.
you were going there?
I mean, I was expecting at least one dog.
I should have brought him here
we got
because he would be
Spider-Man.
chill right now, right
And
there.
of course, we got Spider-Man.
We got
like,
Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah, that
We
kinda
didn't have a
worked out.
dog,
pretty
but we got Spider-Man.
yeah, it's
But this is it. This is the first
The old Spider-Man.
live on the mic segment of Rizzo on the Move.
so cool, man.
And we're
Dan, big thanks to
What's up,
Dan
what's
right
up?
here. How's it going?
Pretty good. This is a lot different from your kitchen. I like it. This is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, thank you, Viper Studios. That's the reason this is all possible. Anything that we've been doing lately. So thank you, Chuck. And Kat.
Kat went home, but
Chuck the most.
Thanks.
Kat in second.
she's sitting in the she's sitting in the rocking chair right now.
It's a thought that counts. That's it.
Yeah, she is watching actually. Kat, no, everyone loves you, Kat.
But yeah, we're here with Rizzo on the Move.
Yeah.
We're here with Dan from the After Hours Reviews. This is Live Mic Music on Live on the Mic with Nonstop to Cairo. And this is the first official Live on the Mic podcast. So welcome, guys.
Welcome, man.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
Thank
Yo,
you for
we're
having
psyched
us,
to be
yeah.
a part of your first live broadcast here.
Well, we've
In
done
this- in this
perform.
area.
Yeah, for sure. Well, no, this isn't the very first. Like we've been doing them in there, just like one-on-one, close. But
I don't
this
even
is-
count that compared
This
to
is the way to go.
So we
Visual-
just started this
yeah.
interview and you already lied to us.
Wow.
Me? What did I do?
What's behind the door, man?
Show me.
It's the old
It's
studio.
one table. But yeah, out here is the way to go now. So we're sitting here with Nonstop to Cairo. What's up, guys?
What's up? What's up? Yo, we're psyched to be
Can we
here.
do names again? Because I know August and Kevin, but
I forgot the rest. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
They're all
I'm
there.
Nick.
Nick, I'm Joe.
I'm August again.
What's
I'm
up?
Kevin. Still.
Still
Matt.
Kevin. Matt.
Yeah.
Andrew. All right.
And Andrew.
Andrew, Matt. Got it.
If you
We all
forget,
did that
Just call us
correctly.
by the instrument you see us holding. It's fine.
Saxophone, guitar, trumpet, nothing.
Yo,
And
bass.
guitar.
Nothing.
Bass.
Nothing.
Absolutely never nothing.
Provided you're not in Disney.
So how did you guys get here? You're connected through Dan, right? How do you guys know Dan?
Yes, we've actually we've known Dan a couple years now. Honestly.
Yeah.
And he started After Our Reviews, which is one of the best facets and outlets for underground bands to kind of get exposure from. And he does very elaborate reviews on the music that's coming out on the scene. And it's good. It's comprehensive, and people seem to really enjoy it. And he's been around for a while, so
Yeah, thanks.
man.
Yeah,
Well,
seriously,
words,
thank
dude.
you.
That's like an
Thank you.
amazing.
You saw us at Paramount first, right?
Yo, very first review I ever wrote.
Really?
It was
Really?
right after
really,
I
I didn't know that.
right after I started the blog. You guys were the first band I found. Went to the Paramount that next night, and you guys were fucking awesome that night. The rest is history now. You guys kept me in it.
Yeah.
Seriously, man.
Paramount last November maybe.
With the English beat.
That was the
Yeah,
yeah.
show.
It was a good
Yeah.
show.
That was
Yeah,
definitely.
you guys were awesome in that show.
So that's cool. So that means you guys are Dan's first review and you're first on this official podcast right now. So you guys are the
Yeah.
first of a couple things.
We
over
pop
here.
them. I'm not gonna lie.
We're pretty
So-
proud of that.
Cherries, guys, cherries.
Let's kind of get on a timeline. Like, where's it start? Where did it all? How do you guys know each other?
What kind of time? Do you want the timeline?
I like. We usually go like, I don't know how long you guys got, but like,
You said there's no end to this podcast. so
yeah, it's like,
Back in 1982.
literally. Yeah,
We'll
when
go
we-
year by year.
Yeah.
No, I was kidding.
So you all grew up out here, or what's up?
The core of the band grew up in Baldwin in Nassau County.
Yeah.
We all went to the same schools, or most of us a bunch of us were in the same grade, and some of us in a couple of grades younger.
Wait,
My
who
brother
though?
was in a couple of grades younger. That's how I met Augie originally.
Yeah.
Could
But
you
definitely
go
all
into detail
hometown.
about that? 'Cause I don't actually know all of this stuff.
Oh, you don't know the history of Nonstop to
Exactly,
Cairo?
no.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
the
let's.
show with you
How'd you
guys
get
one
in?
time, And I was like, oh my god, you guys are awesome. And then like 3 years later, yes.
All right, yeah, we can go.
That's
we can
your
go a little more
history.
into it.
Yeah.
So Nick and I went to kindergarten together. We've known each other pretty
For
much
real?
for life. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Were we not in the same? I was a cupcake.
Yeah,
in-
and I was
in
an
nurse-
apple. I was an apple, and you were a cupcake.
So in nursery school, we were.
we were definitely on
kinda-
opposing teams.
Yeah, we were.
You're a cupcake. I don't know if you want to make that public.
No, I was.
I mean-
I was a cupcake.
Rewind this camera.
Absolutely.
Proud of it.
100% delicious.
That's
Still am.
All right.
Yeah.
So cupcake apple.
yeah.
got
All
it.
right. So we started off on opposing teams, and that never. Yeah. No, but as we grew up, we actually grew into friends. We live around the corner from each other. Like I could fall out of my bed drunk and land at his front seat. Most of the time, actually. So that's I played trumpet. He played saxophone. We were in the same band in junior high.
You played saxophone? What?
Yeah, Nick was a saxophone player.
Whoa.
Yeah,
no.
I
Do you
know.
guys
Ha-
even?
all
Do you
guys
guys know
know
each
each
other? Have you guys met?
Because if you actually knew
we're
these
talking,
two,
like,
you
we're
would
talking-
realize like these instruments with these two just doesn't seem like it works.
You guys just met in the parking lot when you got here.
Seriously. Yo, our ruse has been
Strangers.
unfoiled.
We are strangers in this world. Yeah, I played alto in grade school and junior high.
Yeah.
Love
Then
the
I played.
alto
Well, I
sound.
played a little tenor in junior high too. But then they
Nice, nice.
switched me to Barry,
Yes, I played the
in
bass
high
sax
school.
a couple of years. Loved
and
it.
I was too young to enjoy it at that point because I didn't want to just go toot toot. Because the tenor parts were awesome in high school
Yeah.
band, and the Barry parts, you know,
You didn't have a set.
I didn't appreciate it. But yeah, I quit sax in high school, unfortunately.
Bum, bum, bum.
I played trumpet through high school. Was in like some symphonic bands and jazz bands and things. And one day, Nick and I were friends since junior high and grade school. So we were hanging out all the time anyway. And I went over to his house one day, and his dad was there, and his dad's a bass player and a singer, and gave me his bass to taught me how to play what? Born Under a Bad Sign, right? Is that the one? Yeah.
Born under a bad
Yeah,
sign.
Born Under a Bad Sign, and said, "You play bass now." And I was like, "Okay, I play bass now." And literally, pretty like at the end of high school, there, I pretty much gave up playing trumpet and only played the bass for. I mean, until now. A little bit of the trumpet still every now and again, but mostly a bass player. But no. But by doing that and jamming out and smoking a lot of pot and drinking a lot, we came up with some tunes that we thought other people would like.
That's the formula.
Which, that's really what started it all. Is like, yo, I think more than just the two of us are gonna like this song.
At the time, we were listening to like Fish and Slipknot.
Yeah, and we made music that sounded like that's what we listened to.
So that
Um,
that was the vibe back then. Fish
Do you
and
have
Slipknot?
any of that recorded?
Pretty much,
we
yeah,
were
yeah.
we were like
do
a
have some of that
jam
record,
band, but I was always writing like heavy stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So we started a jam band because it was what we did most. We like to smoke and jam. We didn't
Yeah.
care at first what an actual strong structures this should sound like.
Mm-hmm.
So we did shows as a jam band called Blackout for a few years. A couple different drummers. At the end of that band, we moved on to a metal band actually because
Oh,
that band broke
wow.
up, and there was a metal band called 30 Pack Jack that needed a guitar player and a bass player at the same time. We were like, we don't play anything like this at all. You guys sure you want us in the band? But they were, they had some stuff going. They wanted to jam, so we jammed, and
Did it
that
sound
turned
good?
into like 7 years of.
Oh yeah.
I would have to say that what we do now is as Nonstop to Cairo this many years later with the funk and the reggae and the rock oriented stuff. It definitely speaks more to my soul. But playing in a hard rock like metal band for a while like really taught me what it meant to be on stage in front of people and how to like run around and jump into the crowd and I'm sorry I hit you in the face with my bass a couple times. I'm sorry about that, but everyone like loves it. They're like, hit me again. It's really a great spot to learn how to do a stage show.
That's metal, right?
That's metal, and it was great music to play. It really taught me how to use my instrument. More
As a dance accessory.
as a dance, yeah. What do you think I was talking about? But yeah, after that band broke up, we had shows booked, and we were like, well, we can't not play a show.
Why'd you
We're
guys
not gonna
break up?
cancel
Was
the
it
show.
some crazy shit?
It was just people go different ways and different
Yeah.
things become important. There was no sour feelings with anybody. Everybody was just we understood that it wasn't going to be what we wanted it to be at the time.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to cancel the shows, so we just made another band.
Basically,
And
just
peaceful.
me, Matt, and
Yeah,
the original
seriously.
drummer
Yeah.
of Nonstop kept 30 Pack going with more of like a rock feel when we started, like straight ahead rock, less metal.
But then you took their.
But you weren't calling it 30 pack to Jack?
No,
No.
that name was done. That band was
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, I think
we
our
were
actual-
calling ourselves Nonstop to Cairo since 2007.
Oh, shit.
Side note: that band, 30 Pack Jack, still has some unreleased material.
Yeah,
got a
there's
lot of
30
underground
pack
material.
Jack
Just
underground.
just so you know.
We do.
Whoa.
It's dope. It's dope.
Hidden
Where's
from
it at?
I was a spectator at that point. I was a little too
The
young.
best part is this is where Augie comes into the mix.
That's what I want to know.
Because that, because honestly, no joke, that was the time that it revolutionized like what Nonstop to Cairo was going to be. It went from this hard rock band, and Augie showed up and was just in the front of the stage, just bopping his head. Like every single show, I would see him in the front of the stage, just bopping his head while we were rocking out to this hard rock and metal music. And then yeah, we stopped as one band, went as another band. One day he wanted to come to practice, came to practice. We were just jamming out on a song, and Augie freestyled like some of the sickest stuff that I've ever heard over some stuff that we were jamming. And then I was like, I don't think we're a hard rock band anymore.
Yeah, right off. You knew it just fit.
Every piece of our band that we've added over the years has been just because they came and jammed at a practice or at a show.
Yeah, the horns.
Andrew came up on stage during a show. It sounded awesome. Ended up with Andrew in the band, which has been amazing and changed us as well. Same thing happened with Kevin. Played with his band, his last band, Motion Ocean. And two bands ago.
Yeah.
Jammed with him. Little while later, he was in the band.
And you just know. Did you
Yeah,
ever
we're
jam with
we're
someone
the
who didn't
Borg.
join the
We
band?
just assimilate every.
Wait.
It's like
Did anyone
Did
ever
you hear that last
anyone
question?
ever not make the cut?
I was like, nah.
no, yeah. No, Kevin turned us down at first. That's true.
Wow.
You turned him down?
He played hard to get. He
Wait,
played
get on the
really
mic,
hard
get
to
on the
He's
get.
a band whore.
He doesn't want to be tied down.
I wasn't in any band. Actually, it was Aqua Cherry. I went to an open mic, and
Oh, it was with Aquacherry?
no, I told them, they're like, yo, Matt asked me to join Nonstop, and I'm like, that's crazy. That's a lot of like to me, it seemed like a lot of work and dedication that I was like, I don't know if I wanted to, commit.
Right.
But they
Yeah.
talked to me. They're like, dude, you should definitely do that, and also join our band. So I joined Aqua Cherry.
Thank you,
guys
Aqua
at
Cherry.
the same time.
Thank you, guys. We love you. We do.
But I knew that like things with them were just kind of, it was a fun reggae thing for a little bit. They're still going.
They're doing some good shit right now.
Yeah, they are.
Happy for Aquacherry. Really, really happy.
I heard they got a new.
So where'd Andrew get in there? How do you get
I was playing sax in another band, and I was the only horn player. And we were doing some fun things, but I wanted to play in like a horn section. So we played shows together with Nonstop, and we would always hang out in the parking lot after, and I would hang out with these guys, and I'd be like, I want to be in your band.
You were in a band
We-
already
I
that you
was.
didn't like, or
No, nothing. It was cool. You know, we had fun. We went to California together. They were called the Warden in Fame. And
Also a sick
Whoa.
band. Yo, Fame.
yeah.
Oh, dope.
Fame kills it.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Kills it.
Motion Ocean played
And
shows
we
with
played
them.
our tour fundraiser at what was the Even Flow in Bayshore.
That's
That's where we
where
met.
I met Nonstop.
Yeah.
That Even Flow
Was
show.
it even? Yo, a lot of shit happened at that
Yeah.
Even Flow show.
I know. Imagine
A
that
lot of
place
shit
actually
happened.
closed down when
That's
they said they
crazy.
were gonna.
I love how you guys are finding out so much about each other. Like,
It all
I think
worked
it's
out.
like
group.
No, you know what it is? It's like you
we
kinda
lived
get
it. We
those-
never
yeah,
talked about
right,
it.
exactly.
So it's
Yeah.
like now
That's
you're
great.
talking about it.
Because
It's
we
kinda
never
weird how
we
it
never
happens.
ask ourselves these questions,
I
so
know,
Yeah.
this is-
you're hearing different
this is
perspectives.
cool.
You're like, oh shit.
yeah, this is fun to watch.
You told me that one more. You told me that once.
It's their own
that you were in
podcast. They're
Warden.
just meeting each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is cool.
I like it.
this. I like this.
So yeah, you wanted to be part of the band, and you were like, "Fuck my band."
We had a
paraphrasing.
trombone and
I'm
a trumpet
kidding.
at
I'm
that time,
kidding. I
right?
love Warden.
We didn't have a set. We only had trombone and
You had a
trumpet.
trombone, you had a trumpet, and that was it.
That was it.
And I played a couple shows with you. I remember I drove back from Boston.
Hair down, right? Was Hair Down your first song?
No, it was rooted.
Rooted.
It was rooted. It was at Beer
Even
Fields
Flow.
with.
No, it was at Even Flow.
That was the Modest Yahoo show where
Wow.
where he
No,
got mad at
we
the
didn't-
crowd.
we- we
didn't-
chanting USA.
No,
That's
no.
way,
it was
way
at
back.
Even Flow. The first time you played with us.
Yes, it was
Oh,
rooted
and then you
at Even Flow.
started
yes.
coming to practices, right?
And yes,
Right.
and then Beer Fields with
Right,
Modest Yahoo.
right.
Getting mad.
That is a true
You
story.
cannot take photos
He
of
got
Modest
so
Yahoo.
mad for someone who like preaches peace.
Who you're talking about? Modest.
Modest Yahoo.
Modest Yahoo.
Who's Modest Yahoo?
Modest Yahoo is like that reggae rapper, the Jewish reggae rapper.
No, I'm.
Jewish reggae rapper.
I've. I just started getting into reggae because of Vanalea, because she came on the last
nice.
podcast, and
Okay.
then
We played with her
and then she
recently,
showed me you
fairly
guys, and then I heard more and like Pepper, and now I'm like getting into it more and more. But I'm a noob, so like yeah.
So am I.
Modest Yahoo.
Modest
Yahoo.
I know Weird
with
Al.
an emphasis on the
Oh,
food.
Weird Al.
Weird Al did a song like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
Weird Al Yankovic.
yeah.
He did other Weird Al.
of like a
Modest Yahoo.
king without a crown.
Yeah.
He did a parody.
Maybe that's what I saw, because
Some
that's
other
what
song.
clicked in my head right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Weird Al keeps it
But-
current.
Wait, so Modest Yahoo was giving you what happened?
Nothing.
The first, yeah.
At
Alright.
the end of the It was
But the
a
first
beer
song you played with
festival,
us-
So everybody that was in the crowd had spent the entire day drinking beer,
Indulging.
indulging,
probably.
and not a lot of people were into it by the time it was his turn to play, and that was unfair to him.
All right,
There you go.
understandable.
Whatever. Yeah. I don't
So
know.
That was a really nice
with
way
an
to put
action,
that.
there's a
Yeah.
reaction. Like that was very civil.
That was a really nice.
Rode off into
not
the
drama way to put
sunset
that.
there.
If any of us could ever be a politician, it's definitely it.
That's
Despite
not
what he
so
looks
bad.
like, he has
Oh, we got the movers walking in.
Oh look,
Don't mind the Santa suit passing by.
they got
Right.
Never
right.
mind the Santa suit. That
What's
was-
up, guys?
Christmas.
That's actually an
Merry
awesome
Christmas.
Santa.
Is Spider-Man gonna fight Santa?
Spider-Man's actually delicate. Like,
They're
you
doing
don't
some green
wanna-
screen magic in the back
Honestly,
room.
he's
Alright.
all show. Yeah, like
He's all
he's
show.
he's a little delicate.
Ryan, we changed the office around.
It's paper mache.
Oh, Miles, true. Yeah. I like how he looks more. Like he looks more.
Did you? I was reading about that. This is such a tangent.
Yeah.
The artists.
Get on the mic.
The artists.
Get on it.
No,
based
everyone
his
does
image
that.
on Obama and
Yeah.
Donald Glover, which is dope, right? Like it was around 2011.
I could see
when
that.
Miles Morales Spider-Man came out.
Yeah. You want to hold it maybe, so you could
should.
still chill back
I know,
there.
right? I don't want to make the noise. All right, here we go.
The noise.
And
Yeah,
then-
the
you
artist who created Miles Morales, the Black Spider-Man, based his image on Obama and Donald Glover, which is just awesome.
He
It was
told he like
cool.
it said that in an interview. Like
Yeah.
that's awesome.
What else do you know?
It was around when Obama was getting elected when they started coming up with the idea for a Black Spider-Man to just change him, because there's hardly any black major superheroes, that kind of thing. So
Donald Glover, not childish.
yeah, no, it was bad.
That was August for the people out there. That's it.
What was that Will Smith movie?
Terrible.
So, Kev, how did you get in here?
Into the bands.
Yeah, because
Um,
you were last, right?
Yeah.
Out of everyone.
Yeah.
We went chronologically.
But
now?
certainly not least.
I mean, like they mentioned, my band Motion Ocean, they were like a ukulele band, just very fun and happy. Spiritual. We played a show with Motion Ocean. I'm sorry, with Nonstop to Cairo, and I was blown away. Like I remember seeing these guys just so much energy and just moving around. This guy took his shirt off, of course.
It's not a
sweating
trademark.
all over the place, and it was just a great sound. I remember, I think Haja was the trumpet player at the time,
Haja was, yes.
and he was just energetic. Like we play a little bit different, and I've learned to get a little bit more like just hitting those lines. Anyway,
Yeah.
I remember being blown away by the performance many years later, and I bought your CD. I remember that the one.
We
one-
charge everybody.
Yeah.
That was after you were in the band,
The
right?
blue
That was
airplane
long
one?
before.
What's the timeline? like?
Ambassador.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the blue and yellow.
That was
How long ago was
self-titled.
this? Like
Yeah.
a few years ago.
2015.
It's like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
wow,
it was
it's been that
around then.
long. Jesus.
2014 probably.
Yeah.
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 And then I guess last year? Was it last year when you messaged me?
Maybe
Or 2 years ago?
No, it's been it's been at least
Jesus,
2
2
years.
years
Yeah,
ago?
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah.
Because I remember that summer. And I was like, nah, I don't want to be in a band. And then that was like June.
I told you,
asked
he
me.
turned us down. He
And
was
then-
like,
You're the.
he was-
Yeah, and then August, like the month,
Oh, okay.
I didn't open. I didn't.
That happens
open
all the
mic
time.
on sitar. That was the first time I ever like tried to do my own thing.
Sitar.
Yeah,
That's
he's,
cool.
he's sick
Wait,
at
what's
he's
that?
sick
Yeah,
at
he plays a lot of
every
instruments.
single instrument.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
played. And it was also flute. And actually, this thing, it was like when I just got the synthesizer we're talking
Yeah.
about. It does
Yeah.
looping and so that was a huge part of my thing. And that's where Aqua Cherry was performing. Oh, the thing was Aqua Cherry broke up because Derek, their singer, went and had a family.
What is?
that
What
thing.
kind of? What is?
Yeah.
He
That's
moved to
beautiful
Cali, right?
daughter.
Isn't there-
And he
Yeah, I
moved all
think
the-
Derek moved to Cali.
But
But
that
he's
wasn't
back.
enough. He put a
Yeah.
whole country in between the two.
Yeah,
the two
But
that's
I
true.
thought he moved back. I thought they moved
He is
back.
He did move back.
He is
Now he's
back.
back.
He's
Yeah. Anyway, they regrouped without Derek as the singer, and Chad, who's awesome. I love Chad, and he
How can you
became
not
the
love
lead
Chad?
singer. Whole new lineup, and then they asked me to join. I was the keyboard, flute, trumpet player, and it was just fun because I could do.
Yeah.
They let me do whatever the f I
How?
wanted.
So 3 months after they asked you the first time,
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
they were
they're
like,
like, please.
"Yo, you should join Nonstop." Stu told me that. He's like, "You should definitely join Nonstop, but you should also consider joining us." So that was it. I called
And
them.
now we're here, or
Well, yeah. I mean,
That was
we
like
have
5
other
years ago.
musicians that come in and out or have been a part of us for different different lengths of time.
Mm-hmm.
The cool thing about Nonstop is that we have like something that keeps us grounded, like anchors us down as what our sound is and who we are, what we are, gives us a personality. And then every musician that comes in just like changes it a little bit. One of my good friends actually once like quoted something to me, and I asked him who quoted it. And he said, "I quoted it. It was me. I just said that." So I don't know. There is no famous person attached to this, but he was like, "You kind of take a piece of everybody you meet, and that's what that's what you are. You're a piece of everybody you meet in every situation you've been in,
Yeah.
and you piece it all together, and that unique." Group of experiences is what makes you who you are. So with Nonstop, even though we are what we are musically and we are what we are as like I guess spiritually or just as a band, our vibe, every person that adds in gives us something we've never had before, makes us new and exciting, gives us more of that energy that you've seen on stage. Like when these guys joined in, like the energy level went up 100% just from having different sounds, different vibes on stage. It's like interacting on stage is what we do this for.
Yeah.
With the crowd, with each other, that's what you do this for. We try to perfect our songs and do what we want to do for the studio, but it's really that live show and that energy and that connection that brings us.
No,
you
you
makes us
guys
happen,
are-
Yo,
you guys
actually-
are awesome. Like, what were you gonna say?
No, well, I just wanted to add on. It's kind of what Andrew was saying. Like, you were the only horn in the bands you were in before, but then you were like part of a horn section.
Exactly.
That was like such a huge change for me too. I played in Funk Nasty, and there was a sax player, but I didn't really play trumpet. I was mostly keyboard in that band. So with these guys, it was just like trumpet,
forced you to, like, be part of a
saxophone,
program.
trombone, and we were just like a family.
Whatever
that
you want.
connected, over time. I just loved how we like developed and like on the live shows when we would just like make up parts, like the padding and background chords or whatever, like it was just so much fun. Just how we would listen to each other and just feel it out and make it happen on stage. You know.
No, that's awesome.
Mo, he's great. I wish Mo was here.
We do have some guys that aren't here right now. Mo and Vetter, Bombser, the Barry sax player, the trombone player, the drummer. We figured, you know, I mean, this is probably enough to fit in this room. We probably don't need a drum set. And
There's room for
I
Mo.
need a wider camera. Because look at that.
Basically.
Like 20
We just
people in
need a
that
bigger
bitch.
office already.
So, who do you guys all write music, or who
I
writes
think
the music?
all of us have
Yeah.
written.
Yeah.
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 That's awesome.
A majority of the songs are from Nick, actually, probably mostly me, Augie. But anytime that we bring something to the band, it has all those pieces added onto it. So, you know, Kevin's definitely, even though he's one of the newer additions, you've been invaluable as far as the stuff you've been able to add to the band. See, that's why. That's the
You saw that
only-
drip,
So
though?
much love. Dude.
That's the only
Thanks for
reason
letting
why
me
he
play
has that
bass
hair.
when
That's
you're
why he
absent.
grew that hair. Yeah. I got sick and somehow at 36 years old I had shingles this year, and it made me miss a couple shows.
Oh man, I was so
Yeah,
glad.
Too much.
buddy.
I was-
Shingles? That's
Shingles,
How do you?
like-
how
Still
does
exists.
that-
Worst
That's
Shingles
possible?
on. It's not like polio, bro. It still exists. No, I think
Wow.
polio.
Polio.
It's not like. No. It definitely.
What's
yeah.
next?
It sucks, and I had it like on my forehead and like in my eye, and I had like the worst head pain I've ever had. It was like a migraine times like 10. Whatever. You can't headbang with shingles apparently.
Silver
It
lining.
doesn't work.
I got to play bass.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, he did.
But knowing that he can play pretty much any instrument ever, it was pretty easy to find a replacement for the couple shows. It worked out
That was so much
really,
fun.
really well. Yeah, too much fun. He doesn't want to play trumpet anymore, and he knows I used to play trumpet, so I think
Yeah, we're
I
gonna
think in his
trade.
head, this is
Switch this
switching
up,
up.
right?
Matt's a good trumpet player.
Oh my god.
No, but yeah, I mean, you know, now we are what we are, and we're doing great things. You know, we came out with a full-length album. Oh, it's almost 2 years ago now, right? Like a year and a half ago. We
It'll
spent
be 2 years in February.
Yeah. So almost 2 years ago, 15 songs, 15 tracks, and it took us a long time to write and record and produce and edit and master and do whatever we had to do with that album. Came out with some of the best music of our career. And now we have, in those 2 years, toured and, you know, been able to get a little more under our belt as far as experience and notoriety out there.
Yeah, definitely.
When's your first tour together? Was it recently?
Our
First tour was 2012, I think. We went
Yeah.
to Florida with our boys
Oogie.
Oogie.
Yeah,
Owawa.
Oogie Wawa.
Wawa.
Oogie wah wah.
Oogie Wawa and
Oh, yeah.
Nonstop teamed up
Brothers.
to shoot down to Florida, and that was our first tour. It was
That was fun.
Yeah.
It was, a lot
Was
of
that
fun.
like how crazy? Was
And now
that?
we're chasing
Was
the
that
dragon
surreal
ever
for you
since
guys?
then.
It was,
You catch
know,
that first hit. And
they had been down there. Oogie had been down there a few times before they went
Yeah,
down
they
there with
brought
us,
us.
and you know they had some good connections. They made great connections. Those guys are like the nicest people on the planet. It's like sickening. But no, they are. They're great. And
Good guitar player. He's
we played with them out in Suffolk, which was one of our first times going out into Suffolk. Like we had been upstate, we had been to other states before we went out to Suffolk County.
Yeah.
The first time we met them, though, was at Mulcahy's with Rick's old band, Maui Wowie and Oogie Wawa.
Maui Wowie.
Yeah,
Yeah, Maui
yeah.
Wowie and the Good
The
Vibrations.
three of us
and
played it
Oogie Wawa.
at Mulcahy's, probably in,
Nice.
what was that? Oh, geez, 2011 or something.
I'm starting to not want to.
you have the best memory.
Okay.
I'm like,
You
what?
could be saying any numbers. And
But what
nobody
day
would
of the
be
week
knowing
was it,
anything.
Nick? What day?
Yeah.
Either way, so shortly after that show, they were booking another tour, and they wanted to book a supporting act to try to help the show out. They wouldn't have to play 4 hours, and you know we'd get the opportunity to play places we haven't been before. And it worked out great. I mean, our vibes work. Their fans love us, vice versa as well, which has always been very comforting.
I'm
And
sure
yeah,
like a lot of fans of like in reggae community, like, you know, they don't just stick to one band, you know. Spread it out.
No,
Spread
that's
it
true.
out.
That's true.
Yeah.
But like entry
Lot of
entry
family
level,
love.
when
One
when
love.
we were coming into the scene, we didn't technically have like the most reggae sound, so
Cool.
we didn't know how it was going to pair off with their fans kind of accepting what we were dishing out, and when it ended up being a good vibe and people like fucking with us, even though we weren't technically reggae, we knew we had something special, you know.
Yeah. I wouldn't even consider it because they were like, because I told you I wasn't big into reggae before, so they were like Nonstop to Cairo, so I YouTubed and I saw the intro video,
Yeah.
Right.
and then I was like,
That's not very regular.
yeah, no, but I was like, I love this because I love hip hop. That's pretty much all I grew up on. But now I'm getting more into spreading my wings, getting some more music in there. But saw that, I was like, yeah, definitely, dude. Like, this is amazing. So I love that song, but I'm gonna get more into you guys now.
But I mean, it's just like you said, Joe. It's kind of how like I started out with these boys because, I've emceed for years now that I think about it. And when I got back out to Long Island, coming from Florida, I was like signed down there with Nighttime Productions, just doing hip hop, touring, putting out mixtapes, going through the whole spiel. The sound that they created, I felt like I always had a live producer around me. And like I kind of got bored with hip hop within those years. It's just there was something about it I wasn't feeling. I'd get like writer's block. But when I was hanging out with these guys and they were just making these beats on command, like something just off the top of their head, that got me excited again. I started writing again. Yeah. So I mean, for me as a rapper, MC, quote unquote, whatever you want to call it, it kind of like lit my fire. And I'm still here to this day because of them. Being able to on the fly with something crazy and dope.
That's pretty awesome.
That's exciting for me.
Yeah, man. So that's fucking dope.
Hell yeah. Because with music, like you don't ever want to be stagnant. You don't ever want to be caught in kind of this bubble where, all right, we know what you're coming with. Mm-hmm. You want to be kind of raw, unexpected, something different every time because that's what people are out there for. Yeah. At least I feel that way.
So you were just like throwing music on SoundCloud before you met these guys, and like,
boy, if I gave you have you ever heard of MySpace? Boy, we were out there. We were out there. It's like a SoundCloud. We were out there.
Profile songs.
It was crazy. I mean, I was selling mixtapes on college campuses. We used to go to like Panama City, hustle on the Strip, and I mean, people showed love. Down south is a little different from New York, So, hey man, buy my mixtape, like motherfucker. You out your mind? I never heard of you. No, but we did really well down there, and once I had like kind of chilled with that and moved back up here, I was just the brother on the couch for a while. I stayed on that couch for what 2-3 years in the studio, just listening to music, and then one day. Just got on the mic and started rapping, and they were like,
"You guys, I think I got something."
When did you start singing? When did you start singing?
When
you were in high school choir.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember you in choir because I was playing trumpet in the band, and
you were
in the choir. He was in the choir.
I'm learning so many things.
So when I moved to Baldwin from Brooklyn, there wasn't like too many things I was doing because I didn't know anybody. So anything like in school, academia, I was trying to like get into because you're trying to meet people. And my mother wanted me out of the street. So one of the things I picked up was actually like choir in middle school, going through the Baldwin choir in middle school, and I found out I had somewhat of a voice.
Tenor?
Yes. At the time. And did that, ended up getting into concert choir, which is more of a selective choir in the high school, and did straight 4 years there, NISMA, all that stuff. But I was kind of like the blackest of sheep. I really did enjoy it. I just, academe to me and the studying and music theory, I wasn't feeling it. Little I know later on, as these guys are going, oh, that's an E, that's in D. I'm like, what the hell are they talking?
Yeah, I don't speak that.
Would have, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Go to school, kids.
Yeah.
Speaking of music, having that background in music is like it's great to like hone your skills through the technicality of like what you learn playing any instrument or writing a song and actually trying to put it down on a piece of paper. Mm-hmm. Definitely broadens your mind. Yeah. But it's better used, in my opinion. Like if I come up with a song, I'm not thinking like what note has to come after what note, or what how many beats have to fit in this measure. I don't think it like I just feel it. You just feel it. Mm. And then when somebody somebody else comes up to you and says, "Wow, that's dope. What notes are you playing?" And you're like, "Wow, I never thought about that." You have nothing to answer them with. It's like I want to learn your song. What do I play? I don't know what you play. I didn't write it down. I have no idea. So can't you just listen to it? No, but
Oh.
that's where it really helps. That you can define what you're doing and kind of put an idea of what. And that's one of the reasons why Kevin helped us out so much. And Nick has a great mind for music theory. And being able to write something, come up with it, and then have these guys just be like, well, that's this, that, and the other thing, and the arpeggio of that and that. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Dude, so many compliments. I love them. It's like you guys love each other here. It's great.
There is a lot of.
We're going out to a diner after this.
Yeah, you're all gonna have coffee.
Is that the one that's
corn
lighting up
muffins.
half of Long Island?
Dude,
Are
I,
you kidding?
There's
I
a
saw
bright
that
diner.
driving in.
A blue and red lights. Oh,
Seriously.
wow.
It looked like a,
It's like that
a
episode of
diner out of
Seinfeld when
Tokyo,
Kramer
like
has-
bright, just neon
Yeah.
bright.
Yeah.
You cannot miss
Diner.
it.
That's where we want to go.
Somebody shining a floodlight in your eye.
Obviously, the lights worked. It lured you guys in.
It
That's
did.
what they're there
It
for.
did. Yeah.
There's a few.
No, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, for me, it's very humbling, and I appreciate it. You know, like a guy like Kevin or Nick, with their technicality in music, being able to be like, "Yo, August, that's cool how you dropped to the minor," and I'm still like, "What? Thank you." Like, you know, it just goes to show. So slowly, like I'm learning from them, but it's impressive to see guys who know that much about music and music theory kind of give you a compliment, and you're still figuring things out.
You know what kind of pisses me off is that
Damn.
You know what the fuck?
I hate everybody.
you
who's
don't
too,
know any of these
everyone's too
scales
positive.
for nothing.
Kevin,
But everything you make up sounds real good. Like it fits. You know. It
All right,
I was
thank
just
you,
about to
brother.
ask
Thank
you,
you,
what
brother.
are
scale. Like
what are you thinking when you write a part?
Like when we jam, sorry,
No,
you come up with melodies and stuff, and they're all like in the key, just naturally. You know, you don't know what fucking key we're in, but
No.
sorry. F key.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
But yeah,
happened so many times.
I don't know.
I
So,
appreciate
like,
that.
You don't really need all of it. It helps communication.
What's your process when you're writing? Do you don't think musically? You just think if it rhymes and the like.
You know what?
I don't.
Oh man, I wish I had my paper on me because I wanted to show Nick. Nick sent me this thing on WhatsApp, and I've been writing to it. I just love the beat. I'm the worst. I feel personally, I'm like one of the worst writers ever.
You're wrong.
What do you mean?
No, you know my mindset sometimes writing is just very discombobulated, and a lot of rappers standard 16 bars, and you want to go through it. Sometimes in my 16s, I write line 1, line 2, 8, 9, 12.
You just fit them in like
15, and-
Tetris.
well, to a degree, like some of it, a lot of artists write to write. I try to write with a little more substance. Nick will come up with a part, and I kind of get the idea through the course of like what we're writing about and like that feel for it, and then I just start going. But sometimes I miss a couple lines, and I'm like, well, what would work with this to make that feel correct and have a cohesiveness where I'm spitting it and or singing it, and it all makes sense at the same time. It's a cool flow to it because people write different.
Do you mostly people write the lyrics after they hear the beat? Is that what you guys do? Is that what you do?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Because like Talib Kweli, I had this guy on. He was like a rap scientist. He called himself. What's his last name? Martin Miller. His last name's Miller.
Was it Dr. Dre?
I forgot. It was like 70 episodes ago. But no, he knew his stuff, and he was saying now he talked to Talib Kweli, and he wrote the lyrics and then would just fit it to the beat that they gave him.
Well, I know my guitar teacher, Mike Fink in New World Music. What up? He told me that Billy Joel wrote most of his songs. He wrote the lyrical melody first. He wrote the hook first, and I'm like, fuck.
It's not easy to do.
I write.
I'm sure
most
it's a
of
lot
the time. Most of the time, not all the time. Sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night, have a fucking melody stuck in my head, and I have to get to my phone real quick,
Yeah.
and sing it.
And then
but
at
most of the
3:30,
time
I get that
it's-
WhatsApp
wow.
text like,
Chords first,
Yeah.
and then I'll start to hear a melody from the chords. But to hear that, like, wow, he just hears that melody.
Yeah. I think Eminem does that shit too, because he'll fit 1 billion words in there. Like he's doing it for I think he must write sometimes.
Well, I mean, no, you know, a lot of guys, and I mean, they'll tell you, you write to write because you need the practice. There's things you're going to figure out as you continue practicing. Like with anything else, you know, these guys didn't get as good as they are if they didn't practice. And I mean, with being a rapper, an MC, or a songwriter, I think a part of that kind of goes into it. As long as you continue writing, you just develop more and become, hopefully, you know, what you're trying to look for as an artist. And it's it can be tough. I mean, for me, I feel like it's tough, but at the end of the day, the shit that we actually put out recording, like I could go up against anybody. And, you know, that's how I feel after I'm done with it, or like that final process. So
yeah, man, fuck yeah, it's dope. So you guys obviously brought some instruments, right?
Yeah.
yes.
Oh yes.
Would you guys plan on like jamming? What were you thinking about?
We were thinking about a couple different songs, maybe a jam.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe
warm up the
maybe
voice.
a
and then,
freestyle if we get there.
if we get there.
If we get there.
I mean, I'm not musical, like I said, but I can sit and listen to music like freaking all day.
Yeah.
Like I'll just watch Vanalia practice. Like that's it. Like I can do that all day. So I love hearing it, man. So whatever you guys want to do. However, do you guys just chill at home and jam, right? Or wherever you practice?
Living in the same town, you know, our whole lives, we had a studio that basically we took over more than half of my parents' garage, and we built a wall and put up a door with a lock.
Dude, that's
And
what
then my
Vanalia
parents
did.
can't
She
get
did
into
the
their
same
own
exact
garage
thing.
now.
Wait, really? Your dad let me in one time. I left
No,
that
now they can. But when we first did it, we made a. No, we just built a studio, and they're gracious enough to have us just jam and have a place where we can, you know, just get in the right headspace to
Throw
make the
down,
music we
yeah.
want to do. But yeah, we used to jam there all the time.
Yeah, your dad is
It started out in Nick's basement, and then a couple times.
Was it your basement?
A couple times at my upstate house, but mostly just in that garage.
When we
that
was
just
supposed to
write.
be in school. Sorry, Mom.
That is the best time to write.
Seriously?
Kids,
You guys
that
come
is
to
the best time
practice?
to write music. When you're supposed
When
to
you're
be
supposed to be in
in
school.
school.
You're still being productive.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
I never said we were role models. Disclaimer.
Just rolling around 11. Get things started.
All right, so you got there eventually. Whatever.
The guilt
You made it.
that
No,
you
I'm
feel
saying
for
we would,
not being
we would
in
meet
school
around 11 to start jamming.
gives you some great inspiration.
It was good.
Calculus. Anyway.
Did you guys? So is this like
Teaching.
all y'all full-time jobs now? Like this is what you guys do?
I wish
Yes.
that was the
Yeah.
case. Yeah. If you don't. No, I wish that was.
It is,
We-
but it's not, kind of, because we have to make money still.
You know,
Yeah, like side. Do you have side stuff?
Yeah.
we treat you go out on tour and then you come back from tour and there are seasons that are better for touring and then seasons that are better for writing and making records and stuff. It takes a lot of money to put out a record and then to get the merchandise and then the cost and expenses, everything that it is to bring 7 people on the road. So it takes a long time to kind of just build that all up. You need something at first to kind of back yourself up. And
Yeah,
make
like
that
managing.
I mean, I would love to be handed enough money to make that happen, but right now we got to make it happen ourselves, you know.
Yeah.
So we're in jobs that make it mostly easy for us to get out and do the things we need to do. And
Flexible.
you keep it in your mind that you're, you know, that this is your goal. So one thing is feeding the other, and
You know where
the
you're
priorities
going.
are straight. You
You
know?
just gotta, you know.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
And I must say, without a label, we've been doing all right.
I think you guys. Seems like it.
Let's do chicken.
Nah.
We're just gonna play Phil Collins the whole night. Is that okay?
I love Phil Collins.
It's pretty awesome.
Not gonna lie.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, do that.
Girl.
You'll be laughing.
Collins.
All right, what are we doing? Chicken?
Yo, yo.
All right, this is a song from Dabble Heavy called Chicken in My Oats. 1, 2, 3, 4. I wake up every day
It's every day, every day, every day.
as if the sun believes in me.
It believes, it believes, it believes.
Another memory saved.
Memory save, memory save.
What it's worth, I'm running out of space, but I would wait for you. All this time believing, I would wait for you. Left me all alone. Well, I don't like drinking on my own. It takes me to this place, so. And just when living catches up, you run out of room. Well,
So can you help me out? I find it hard to breathe. Just my luck. I've been drowning in my dreams. As a youngin' was a puppet. People always pulling strings, cutting my ties. I know who I wanna be. I used to run the corners, pump to get the green. But in due time, wanna feel the summer breeze. If you look into the mirror, tell me what you see. I find out I'm my own worst enemy. Me, it's me. Yup, they gave the streets onto us. Paint the town red, be sure to run amok. Bruh, bruh. No design to silence, but if your voice ain't heard, proceed to riot. Oh man, that drama swallows me to a somber state. That's why we blow, zoning like all the live long day. Struggling to tread that water, knowing the bends do ache. When them waves crash down, that is the point I break.
I don't like drinking on my own. It takes me to this place, so. And just when living catches up, you run out of. Come on, Kevin, take it away. Come on, Andrew. I don't like drinking on my own. It takes me to this place, so. And just when living catches up, you run out of room. Well, run out of room.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was amazing, dude.
That was dope.
That was
That was
really
awesome.
good.
I appreciate
should've
it. Yo, it sounds
Delayed
good in
clap,
here.
maybe. What?
It sounds good in here. Man.
Yeah, bro, it sounds
Honestly.
amazing. I don't know why. The sound guy might be pretty good.
Thank you, bro.
I don't know.
Awesome.
That was awesome, though.
Pretty good.
Yeah, we
Who
don't
wrote
usually
that
play,
one?
That was started by Nick.
That was Nick?
Oh, there it
Nick
is.
yeah.
Special?
I think Did I write the breakdown and you wrote the whole? Nick wrote the main, the verse, the chorus, and I wrote the breakdown of that song. I think.
I love it. Everyone like adds pieces. Like, isn't it usually different? Isn't it usually like there's someone who writes and then everyone else, or no? Is not how it goes.
Depends on how orchestrated.
Yeah.
You know, every band has a different style. Some of them need to be super orchestrated or super produced in order for it to feature the vocalist the right way. In a lot of rock music, we're reggae, but we're reggae rock, or we're funk, but we're funk rock. Whatever we're doing, there's that rock element, and that's just like this raw energy and not ever exactly anywhere. Like you just kind of every time we play a song, it's a little bit different, and it's because of the people we have there. When we wrote that song, I think 3 members of the band right now weren't in the band.
Yeah, you're right.
A long time ago. So
Ooh.
the song sounds completely different now than it did then.
So
because of all
good.
those little
The
pieces.
solos were awesome. I loved it. Dope, dude.
Is that chiming? People giving us money?
What, you heard a chime?
Yeah.
No, someone followed.
Is that Twitch or is that a different streaming service?
Did somebody just get paid?
I didn't hear a chime.
What is this, like PBS?
Someone followed. That's how Twitch does it. They throw you a little chime.
That's my surface whenever I lose followers or gain followers.
All right.
It tells you
Oh.
when you
10
lose
times
followers.
a day. Yeah, it's like you have lost followers and you have gained followers.
That's
Thanks.
horrible.
Wow.
Thank you for keeping me in limbo.
Oh. We got like a little. I like how we have. So yeah, they just walked in. We got. This is my friend Ryan. This is my friend Josh.
What's up, man?
Dylan back there.
What's up, bro?
Who's?
Yo, is that a rocking chair, Dylan?
Yeah, he's in a
You
rocking
are-
chair.
That's
I'm
Cat's
so
rocking chair.
jealous right now. Seriously
He
jealous.
just needs that cob
Yeah.
pipe. Done.
Yeah.
I have a pipe guitar. It's a nice one. I made it.
Ryan.
That's a true story, though.
How'd you make
Yo,
it?
shout out to Ryan first of all because he's in a band.
Maple, walnuts, little copper.
Ryan's in the bin?
Yeah, he's in a band too. Doses, or I don't know, Doses
What's
and
it called this
Mimosas.
week?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a great name.
Doses and what?
Doses and
Doses.
Mimosas.
Ryan, we're going to interview you now. What do you consider your genre?
Here, come over here. Get on the mic if you're gonna talk.
Come on, get in here.
Let's go. Oh, you got one right here. Wow.
I'm not sure. Like, we definitely have all different influences.
Don't worry, that used to sound like our answer for like 6
Chuck.
years, I
Yeah.
promise.
I mean, like, I guess in like if you first hear, you're like, oh, it's like a rock band. But we all kind of came from different places. Like, I'm more of a blues guitarist.
Yeah.
Our singer's definitely like a punk rocker. Our drummer is definitely a metal drummer, and like our bassist is straight funk and like pop. So like all together kind of meshes in its own like fusion type sound, but
They're awesome.
definitely
That's how
has
it should
elements
be.
of like
Wait,
classical
and plug that name again one more time.
doses and mimosas.
Doses and Mimosas, folks.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Yeah.
Album coming
Yeah.
soon.
Coming soon.
They're savage. They're savage.
Yeah.
They're savage.
All delicious food.
But yeah, good dude.
It sounds like most of my
Very
days.
cool. Very cool.
To be honest.
Cause yeah, they walked in.
So, you got to spread the love sometimes. Nonstop, tries to do that, especially
I
with
try to, yeah.
with the up and coming bands. Actually,
Well, we all work together, so like they're not just in a band. Like the reason we have this office is because he met Chuck. His aunt met Chuck, the owner of Viper Studios, through because she's his banker. Like that.
see?
That's how we're Chase.
Chase
Chase
Bank.
Bank.
Nice.
That's how we got here.
That's
Like,
how small
this
the
wouldn't
world
have
is.
is.
His
happened
Banker.
If that
What is
didn't
it? What is it
Which
called?
branch?
Branch.
Dad works at Chase. He's the branch manager.
Yeah, branch manager. There you go. But that's crazy to me. Like that's how we got here. Like
See
if
that
she
Long
didn't
Island? It's
do
all
that-
about the 6 degrees of separation.
yeah,
Wow.
butterfly effect, all that.
Ashton Kutcher.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's it. It's networking. That's the only way it's ever going to work. You find
Well, it's
people
the
that
s-
have the passion, and
Yeah.
you make it happen.
It's like what Augie said. Like until he came and like hung out with you guys and like got the vibe of the creative vibe again when he wasn't writing. Like that's what it is here. Like we just come here and everyone's in that vibe and we do what we do. So it's like this. That's the same thing right there. Just
You kind of reciprocate from that energy.
yeah,
People
it's
put out
contagious.
stuff, and you absorb that. I truly believe in that, definitely.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
Speaking of putting stuff out, Augie, are we putting something out coming up?
Oh.
Oh
shit. Yo.
Uh-oh.
Are we supposed to say this?
Wow.
yet?
Segue.
Yeah.
Is this on schedule?
Beautiful.
I like that, Nick. Thank you. So,
Yeah.
we took some time out this past summer, I'd say, right?
Yeah.
Summer, early fall.
Early fall.
Early fall.
Late summer, early fall.
September.
And
Wait, what?
we practice the art of confusion.
and the guys have dropped a single or are dropping a single very soon.
The guys?
Wait, which guy?
Are you the guys?
Guys within this room and some who are not here.
Oh.
Where'd we
decided
record it?
to record in Roslyn at Sabella Studios, the famous Sabella Studios.
Ooh.
I love Jim.
Yeah,
Jim
Jim
and
Sabella, Will Harris.
Will Harris did a great job engineering, and
Will Action Jackson Harris.
Yes, and it's
he's the man. He's the man.
I really feel the song is cool. It's definitely a route of Nonstop people haven't heard in a while, I'd say.
If I click play on iTunes, I get a 30-second preview. Does that apply here?
No,
No.
not yet. We're not that far along. But very
we're-
soon.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
We got we have a big show coming up in Roslyn at the new My Father's Place, which was a pretty famous historic venue back in the day that my father actually played in with his band. Like, now this is at a different spot, but it's pretty cool to play at the same venue.
It has a lot of history.
That's awesome.
If
It
you
really
guys
does.
haven't heard of it, My Father's Place has definitely brought through some huge acts. And
Michael Epstein introduced the world
Yeah.
to.
Chuck knows what's going on. He's like mouthing what you're
smiling
saying.
over
well,
it.
He
no, I
already
like the
knows
fact
what
that
you're
he's
gonna say.
smiling, and he should be because it was a dope venue back in the day. Epi is quite the character.
Do you want to go into that a little bit? we should go into
through
that.
him,
Yeah,
we've,
talk
met,
to me about
we've
Epi.
met Dennis McNamara, who is
I heard of him.
famous
So for the last
radio DJ.
for the last 2.5 years, when we first finished recording Dabble Heavy, the job that my day job that I work at, Epi happened to shop there one day, and Epi is this like just full of personality, full of energy. Just gonna tell you anything that hits his mind without a filter. It's amazing. It's the best thing ever. No, it's so great. It's so great. I love the man. So, the tongue thing. Yeah, he did.
He's the man.
No, Epi's great. He does. He has a move. He has a move. With
He's got to move.
I can't do
Chuck,
it.
do
I
you know
won't
the
even-
move?
He has a move.
I've seen the
Yeah,
move.
Epi
No,
took a liking
Epi-
to Matt, and
I told him. He told me that he worked in music, and I said, so does everyone else. I didn't. I know seriously. That's what I was thinking in my head. I'm like, so does everyone else. Like the amount of people that come up and like tell you they're going to do something for you or not, whatever. So I didn't believe him at first, and then eventually, I gave him a copy of the album. The next time that he came back in, he's like, we're going to do something with this, and we were lucky enough to have totally randomly this meeting. It's like, you know how they say like luck plays a big part. This was our luck. This is one of our lucky meets. And Epi, for the last like 2.5 years since we released Dabble Heavy, has been giving us kind of consulting us on try to do this, try to do that, help us here, help us there, and make it happen. Dennis McNamara as well. When we released our vinyl worldwide, we had it being sold. I think we have it being sold in Europe and Germany, and
Which has been cool.
he did some liner notes for the record for us, said some really nice words about us, and throughout the years, it's been great working with them and just getting that insight. There's nothing else like that insight for Long Islanders. They came through a lot, like with WLIR and New Wave and everything they did, you know. So definitely shout out to Epi and
And
Dennis
My
for
Father's
helping us out.
Place.
That's awesome.
And My Father's Place.
Epi, Dennis, and Seth, who
and
have
Seth for sure. Oh yeah.
helped us out quite a bit.
Yeah, Seth was able to get us those vinyls and helped us with the funding and distribution, which is also amazing. So
They,
Yo,
Epi helped us get out to California. We
Oh.
were able to play at this
the Sierra Nevada World Music Festival.
really high, prestigious reggae festival where we felt kind of out of place. But
Epi's
it
a
was
fucking man.
We killed that
Yeah,
shit,
it was-
please.
it was
I had a
it was
great
amazing.
time. And I go back in a heartbeat. It was great.
Yo, what's it like promoting overseas? Like you were saying, you were selling in Europe and Germany, and like how is that different from here? Like, is there a lot more that goes into that?
We don't know. We haven't got that far.
But you said you're selling overseas, though. So, you're not,
what?
No, that's not quite accurate. We're not,
Well, no,
we're not
what's
really
great-
selling. We tried to get over to Europe. We tried to introduce ourselves over there, and we still are trying. But we're not.
Most of what's
selling
being
over there
done for
at
that
this
is through Seth. He's pushing to the people over there and getting it in the stores and doing what he has to do to get the market going.
Right.
He thinks that there's a couple pockets in Germany that would like our.
Yeah, we're shopping it
Cool.
over
So we're
there. It's
shopping
not.
there,
It's
we're
not being
shopping-
sold
That's
anywhere
cool.
yet.
Yeah.
Though. But we're trying. But we have it for sale at the local shows here, and we're trying to get it distributed around the U.S. as well. But
Yeah, it's
We'll
really
see.
about the new stuff coming out that we're excited about.
Yeah.
Dropping this new single, doing this release party, going into the new year.
Release party.
Yeah, that's the one we're doing at my father's place. It's kind of like a Christmas. It's not really a release for the single. Just kind of we're going to
Have a party.
have a party.
Why not?
Yeah, it's really like a Christmas holiday party with our boys in Circadian Rhythm, SCR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing some great things.
When's that show?
That show is December 14th. It's
That'll
Friday.
be a Friday, yeah.
Friday, December
Oh,
14th.
that's like next week.
Yeah, it's coming
next
up.
Friday,
It's coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll be there.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna be
Oh, yeah.
there.
I'll be there.
We got tickets for sale. The link is in our in the event page on our Facebook page. It
Awesome.
might be up on Instagram or maybe
I'll
not.
put it in the
I'm pretty sure
description.
it is.
It'll be before this airs.
you guys like
Okay.
doing those big.
No,
like,
I'll be
holiday
putting this up
shows, huh?
tomorrow.
Like you've done like last year, you did the Badfish one, like right around New
The
Year's.
Badfish
Yeah.
holiday
You did, like,
show
your
at
summer
Mulcahy's was
festival.
awesome.
Good. That was good.
Yeah,
You're, like,
we
going for those big targeted areas, right? Like, it
people are
seems-
home.
It seems like every show I've been to that you've had around a holiday or anything like that has had a big crowd.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
true.
we do like to choose as wisely as possible. You know, you can't play all your shows in one spot. So when you do, make it worth it. You know.
Right.
So if we have the opportunity with venues around here to do something on a big holiday or do something, you know, we'll make it happen. And the leading up to the holiday show or the New Year's shows have always been a tradition for us. Like, I guess the first real one that we did was the one at La Poison Rouge, right? Is that the first like holiday type show that
think
kind of
so.
started it all?
I think so.
Yeah, we played at La Poison Rouge with.
We opened
with
up for Redman.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Redman?
Yeah, Redman.
Wait, what?
Yeah, yeah.
That
There
was,
was
a
like
interesting.
and
How did you-
Angelo
how did you
Moore
even get on
from
that bill?
Yes,
Yeah,
and-
how
and-
did
Race
that
Fist?
Fist,
yourself on?
Race Fist
yeah, Race Fist
propaganda.
propaganda.
Oh,
Jeff
wow,
Klisk.
cool.
Yep.
Yeah, they were.
That show.
Redman has a skate shop, and Jeff had been working with the skate shop for a while in Staten Island. I think he
Yeah.
had gone and done photography for some of the events they had there.
And
And
Angelo Moore came up and jammed. with
Yeah, and then
us.
and then Angelo Moore from Fishbone
Fishbone, which was
played
crazy.
with us that night.
He played on the the
Allman,
theremin.
Thurman.
Yeah,
Thurman,
yeah,
German?
yeah. He played on. Yeah, he didn't play sax. He played the
Like with
theremin.
the two antennas.
Yeah, with the two antennas.
What?
Yeah,
That's
it
very
was-
cool.
it was
Did you
pretty
guys
amazing.
meet Redman or
Oh yeah,
was he cool?
Oh,
I
yeah,
could
we
picture him
met
being like
Redman
he's
all right.
super chill.
chillest dude there is. right?
Really, really
like
chill.
probably
Mad
the
chill.
chillest dude.
Down to
Mad
earth. Just a normal dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
of him
pretty
like
great.
eating Cheetos. Like, what was that? How high? Yeah, how high? Like just licking his fingers.
I don't think they had Cheetos there, but he's not
Yeah.
far off.
Yeah.
It's not far. No.
Dope.
He's a great dude.
How I want to know
Um,
Dan's perspective. Like, how did you hear about Nonstop?
Dude, when I first started thinking about doing the blog, I was like looking into A&R and doing all that. So that's like my initial reason why I started it. And I was just like, let me look up every local venue in Long Island or in the city and see who's playing. And I really at first was like, I'm not even gonna look for a genre, just look for what their names are. And they're like the first name that I was looking at the Paramount just stood out to me. So me and my friend were like, yo, let's see who this band is. And the first song I listened to was Rooted. And it kind of fucking fell for you guys right there, dude. Like I was like, yo, this music is awesome. Like that was pretty fucking dope. Just by seeing your name, and I was like, and when you guys played that show, like that's what sold it. Playing that show, just because like you were opening up for a bigger band, not like many people there, but you played like the whole thing was sold out, and that was what sold me like right away. Just like you jumped in the crowd, and I was like, there's nobody even here, and he's still fucking dancing around. Like I love that. Like you guys showed that you had heart no matter what, and that,
Appreciate that, man.
yeah, and every show I've been to, dude, you've done it every time.
Yeah, if there's a stage I can jump off of, I'll jump off of it.
Yeah.
So you guys
played
bring that
that hot
energy.
ass festival, the Munostock this summer.
Yeah,
you
oh
were
yeah.
still jumping around in there. I thought I was gonna pass out just standing on that
were
black
there?
top.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
for
bad.
that ridiculous.
Oh, it was so hot.
It was so hot.
That
there.
was
I was like, how the hell are you dancing
we were in
around?
the batting
right now?
Oh, we were in the
Yes.
batting cages going nuts.
Yeah.
That shit was so much
dude.
fun.
I was so sweady after. I think I threw that shirt out.
Like I was
Pretty
really
sure
upset.
I
That,
was just like, this is no.
I was
washing
really
that's
upset there was
gonna
no
help
alcohol
this.
there, and then I was like, I probably would have threw up already with how fucking hot it is out here.
You remember? In the parking lot
You didn't
outside.
have any on.
No, I saw you guys drinking by the fucking batting cage.
We might have snuck a few.
Yeah, I remember Vetter bringing like a cooler. He came late. He was like, "Yo, what up?" And he brought it from
He
work.
came
yeah,
straight
yeah.
from work with a cooler.
That was so nice of him.
Yeah,
Yo,
so I saw you
he's
guys
so
hide in that
prepared,
one
bro.
area
He's so
without a
prepared.
camera.
Yeah.
Jesse came through with the fireball. I don't know.
Yep.
if
They
that-
didn't bother us.
What?
Oh, I got
No,
you.
that was. Yeah, that was really cool. Yo, actually, you want to play Rooted for him? First song.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Let's play Rooted. Yo, let's
Rudy,
let's do it.
what are you
Let-
doing?
Let's just play Rooted. It was your first song. Why not?
Let's do it.
Wow.
This is for
For Dan.
Why not?
We'll do it for
For you,
Dan.
man. For you.
Don't you tell me, right?
No, that's right.
Is that the
Yeah.
one?
Oh, you're in the E. I forgot. Yeah, different tuning.
That song.
Yeah.
All right, we got this now.
You're gonna play on both. You got the keys and the trumpet.
One,
I think you got this.
Tuesday. A little bird has flown my way. It wandered on my porch with something to say. Stood up tall, caught his breath for a while. Then he said, "Hey, there, man, I got a story to tell." I said, "Hey, man, I'll show you wonders. Well, I cannot fly away, bird, but I can save you, give you everything. I cannot fly away. Come with me now, take the high road. I cannot fly away, bird. Save your soul and taste redemption. I cannot fly away." A little black kitty has come my way. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. He wandered on my porch with something to say. I said, "Hey kitty, what's this all about?" Then he said, "Meow, meow, 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 meow."
Man, I don't know what you're talking about.
I said, "Hey man, I'll show you jungles. But I cannot run away, cat. But I can save you, give you paradise. I cannot run away. Come with me now, take the high road. But I cannot run away, cat. Save your soul and taste redemption. I cannot run away." Doesn't matter what you say, it takes a long time just to get this whole thing right. What makes you think that we could walk away now? I did it all before, I did a long time. That bird flew back my way. Wandered on my porch with something to say. Stood up tall, caught his breath for a while. Then he said, "Hey, there, man, I got a story to tell." I said, "Hey, man, I'll show you wonders. Well, I cannot fly away, but I can save you, give you everything.
Yeah.
There you go, Dan.
Thank you.
I keep getting a
That one was
delayed
for Dan.
clap. I can't get it on.
That's an old one we recorded. That one, that's Sabella.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've kind of gone back and forth between Blockhead Studios with our boy Tom and Deer
Tom?
Park,
Yep.
which we did Dabble
We
Heavy.
did Dabble Heavy on.
The album before that we did at Sabella.
Yeah.
The album before that, which doesn't exist really anymore, we did at Blockhead.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the new one is at Sabella.
Yep.
New single.
Yeah, just a single, just a single. We got some other stuff up our sleeve though. I think 2019 is gonna be a good year for Nonstop to Cairo.
Most definitely.
We got some
Go over there. Yeah, right over there.
nice ones coming up. But Balcony, the one that we're coming out with at the end of this year. Balcony.
Balcony?
Is,
How do you guys? Wait, balcony? Oh, that's normal.
yo, that's just because it's just because that lick
Someone
was so
go
hot,
to
bro.
911.
The last thing you just
His-
played was such fucking fire, bro.
Nobody be alone.
Sax
It's just coming out the
smoking
reed.
right now.
Oh, he's killing it right now.
Yeah, he's loving it.
More fire.
He's having a good time. Wait, so
Oh,
it's
we're
called
just enjoying it.
balcony?
Yeah, Balcony.
Yeah, the song's called Balcony, actually.
Yeah, Balcony.
How
It's
come?
it has. You can tell, Malcolm. How
What's that?
where did Balcony come from?
Yeah,
Let's see.
the origin of the balcony.
That's one of those songs that I woke up at 3:30 in the morning.
Ooh, one of
It's
those.
like, I got this line in my head. I sang it.
Is that how it goes? A lot?
Well, most of
For
it's
Nick.
actually.
Like,
and
you'll
I know
wake
this-
up-
Nick.
I know this is cliche, but
Yeah.
most of it is in the shower.
Okay. I mean, I could see that because it's just, it's relaxing in the shower.
Ideas
Yeah.
just pop in the shower, and then it usually happens like 2 seconds into the shower, and then I have to make sure that I keep the idea going throughout the whole shower, or else I'll lose it.
You got to record it in there, dude. You need a studio in
I
your
need
shower.
I need a wet recorder.
A wet studio.
That
Wet
could be a thing.
studio.
A water-
Where's
a
Les
waterproof
Paul when you need
microphone.
him?
There you go.
Someone's going to
R.I.P.
have that. Jay-Z's going to have that shit.
I want to make an observation.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do it.
We're way better at talking to people when we have our instruments with us.
Yeah?
I think so.
This could be the key.
Have we?
If we're sitting
Have
just
we
by
ever-
ourselves and we're just talking like
Oh
this.
God, it's awful.
Yeah.
We don't know what to do.
Don't ever invite us to do
That's
that.
interesting because I always know what to do.
Well, you.
Oh.
Whoa.
You never have an
Okay.
instrument. That's
Boom.
the yeah.
Boom.
It's something about a podcast, too. It's like you're not going on your phone, and that's rare by itself. And then like you're there to talk to people. So it's like, it's just what happens. And then you lose track of time,
There
too.
needs to be a lot more of that.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. That's why I love it so much. It's like, what else is there where you can just put your phone down and just like talk to people and learn about what they're all about? It doesn't happen.
We have to make podcasts.
This has been an
to
hour
put
and
our
19 minutes
phones
already.
Down.
Yeah.
Make
See.
podcasts to be normal human beings that can just talk to
were
each other.
How
How
many
terrible
times
is
did we
that?
hear all
Pods
those?
up,
We
phones
were in
down.
Dunkin' Donuts, and
Yeah.
in 30 seconds, we heard sounds coming from everywhere in the building.
It was crazy.
We're in the future, man, and it's scary.
Well, they'll be your phone's gonna be in your head, dude.
It already
Just have it in there.
Yeah,
It is.
most
It's gonna be
definitely.
connected. Cyborgs. Let's go.
But it's
I hear
funny.
something brewing.
We all had to come to a podcast. It's Comcast. We all had to come to a podcast to put our phones down. Now, please be sure to get on your phone,
Phone
to
and
watch,
watch
the
this.
podcast. Out there, phone people, please.
It's crazy. This is, now I'm just going on a tangent, but like when I'm watching like sports, sometimes I'm like, I'm watching these people live, like they're living. I'm watching them live, and I don't know. Sometimes I get like, why am I watching this? I could be doing something else right now.
Guilty pleasure of people.
Podcast
Yeah.
is you living.
I don't know. It's true. That's
That's
me.
why reality
now I'm
TV
living.
shows are around and stuff, you know? Like
True.
people love watching other people's problems. It's kind of escapism.
And they're the
Yeah.
worst things you could ever set your eyes on.
Exactly.
I can't stand them.
This is ratchet, but I can't turn the channel
Exactly.
off.
It
Like,
sucks because it's so bad, but you have to watch it. Like Jersey Shore came back. Why?
Yeah.
I watched it.
And I watched.
I watched
it.
it. I said that. I couldn't wait.
I didn't want to.
You have to. If you grew up, or if you
How
watched
far
it
did
when it
did
was
you watch
on-
it the whole way?
No, I think I stood to the second episode when Snooki was crying because she lost her earrings. And she
No,
was
dude, she
stumbling
lost her
over
engagement
herself.
ring.
Engagement ring, that's what it was.
Yeah,
Yes.
dude.
She lost that, and then I'm like, this is ridiculous. These people got families at home, and they're back in Miami. Miami, Jersey Shore, obviously.
They're going.
And it's just like their families are watching this. Like one day the kid's gonna be like, "Yeah, I watched that. That was my mom. I was 1 year old when they did that."
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then at that point, I was just like, you know what? But I was excited that my girlfriend was as excited to watch it as I was because I had to. But that's it. It sucks. There's so many reality shows. This could be a reality show.
We played around the block
It
from
is.
that place,
It really
from
is,
their
yeah.
original house in the Jersey Shore. And we went on a pilgrimage there when we played. We played at Jack's Garage.
Jack's
Jack's
Garage.
Garage
Yeah,
is
we
a
did.
great spot.
That place was filthy.
Absolutely
Everything there is.
insane.
That
You're not lying.
Seaside was Farmingdale High School's after prom spot. So like that's where everybody would get up on the buses and go to Seaside. And the stories that came from that was just like, I don't know how any of you were alive. I really didn't understand it.
It was great fun.
Sounds great.
Never went.
Always good fun.
Something brewing, or is this like a little jammy?
We just jamming.
I like this. It's background music. So you guys used to be a rock band. You said you used to follow. You were a little more rockish.
Yeah, I mean, that's what is like. We brought in reggae and we brought in funk, but the rock elements are still underlying in like the stuff that we do. Like that's
Yeah.
where the energy comes from when we're on stage. We're just trying to bring that out.
Right.
Yeah, when we were in 30 Pack Jack was borderline metal.
Mhm.
That was a hard rock metal band. And when we first switched over to Nonstop to Cairo to fill the gap of those shows that we had booked, we wrote our first songs that we wrote because Nick and I have been writing for most of the bands that we're in. Blackout, 30 Pack Jack, and now this band. We've written the core of the music over time for all those bands.
Mhm.
So we had to learn how to write jam rock and then learn how to write metal. And we went straight from metal into this funky thing that we wanted to do. And the metal and the hard rock just came with it. The energy just came with it. So I don't know. For me and Nick, I think it's just something that's natural for us to have that
Always
inside
like
of
it.
us.
I think you guys do well at keeping that as part of what you do, especially live. Like you were talking before about you don't want anyone to expect what to come to. Like that jam session you guys start with, it's a completely different vibe from half the songs you'll then play the rest of the set. But it's like a great way to start off and keep everyone on their toes. Like nobody comes in knowing what to expect. So I think you're good of incorporating that rock.
Oh yeah.
With it.
Half the time we don't even know what to expect. It does. That's doing that on
It's
stage.
a
is what's
double-edged
great.
sword at the same time, but
Yeah.
that unexpectedness, that spark when we jam even in the studio. Like some of our songs have even come from that. Aside from Ezzo and Nick,
I was gonna say,
kind of writing the majority of the songs. We'll be like jamming in there, and then somebody's like, "Holy shit, we need to press a recorder." Somebody get out their phone real quick because
Yeah.
there'll be a sequence where it's like, "Yo, we can't lose that."
Right.
And that's
So
really
that's
cool
how you
too.
guys came up with that one that you start your shows with, for the most part.
The yeah, I mean,
Wait,
Nick, you
Don't
wrote,
Phrygian or
Yeah, Phrygian.
I actually
You wrote it.
I had that as a song. I had that as a song idea, which had lyrics and all this stuff, but I didn't get to present it that way to the band
Because we just started jamming.
because
and
we
we did it totally different than he had.
We
wrote
weren't
it. He
writing.
couldn't fit the lyrics to it.
yeah, we weren't like writing new songs.
We were like, "That's-
but
this
I
is how it is
wanted, but
now."
I really liked
Yo, what about that one that we
that
did?
horn.
Can we hear a little bit of that? Like a little.
Yeah.
What is
Nick
it?
was like, "Hey guys, I got
Just
this
like a
new song."
taste.
He started doing the riff, and we were like, "No, we have a new song."
What's it called, Fragile?
Go, yeah, 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 yeah. Whoops, that was wrong key. Go, yeah, yeah. Not one, not two, but three. Break it down. Go, whoa, whoa. Not one, not two, but three. Break it down.
Pull up that rape on them, we straight forward. That racehorse, no state farm. That great Porsche, that stay spawn. That stock to how you need date bonds. Couple bins in that gear, know that drop top in that beam. I hold that deuce up in that R, you know cartel, got what I mean. If you don't know how the hell we got here, Rizzo on the move, now you got a fucking sound now. If you don't know how the hell we got here, Nonstop got us on the live interview countdown. That was a freestyle though. Yeah. Oh, bring it in, gentlemen. Oh! Yeah. One, two, three, four. Yeah.
That was absolutely fucking awesome.
When Joe said, "Can you play like a couple seconds of it?" I did not think you were gonna do the whole thing.
Yeah,
that
once
was
we
start,
Well,
it's
yeah, I
kind of
couldn't
like
stop it.
that was great.
it's kind of
For those of you who can't see, Kevin, who's
Boulder.
playing the trumpet, is also playing the synthesizer with the other hand.
At the same
No, and a
damn
At
guitar.
the
He
same
started
damn
off
time.
playing
And the guitar is leaning on his leg for a little bit
No,
later.
he played with the guitar to start. Then he went to the trumpet.
He was
And
gonna
then
take his
three-
boot
he
and
has
sock off. and
three
just do it
hands.
with his foot.
while drinking a Modelo.
Isn't it? Doesn't it just piss you off? Isn't it just
Right,
so
he's
sickening?
that.
You
multi-
could do-
he's that
you could do
multi-talented.
So, Kevin, do you actually know how to play every instrument? Is that for real? Is there something
mean,
you don't
don't shake
know how
your
to
head,
play?
I mean.
Like,
it's kind of true.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not good at the microphone, apparently.
You don't sing? Do you sing?
Sings like he can
He
hold a
does,
note.
but no one can ever hear him.
What's
'cause he's not
going
good at the
on? Who
microphone.
is this guy?
Bother with the lead vocals though. Like no one wants to hear that. Like the supporting, I can do supporting harmonies. You know, that's fun.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
I
Is
used to
that-
sing in my church choir. I was a tenor also.
So is it? It's just something that comes naturally to you. Like every instrument, you'll pick it up and be like, oh, it's freaking.
well-
Oh, I got this.
Yeah.
I remember I had bought a violin one
Yeah.
time, and I tried to learn that, and I was like, I don't have the time
That's
in
some
my life
hard
to
shit.
dedicate to learn
Violin
this
is a
fucking.
very
It's
tough.
so hard. Certain
Violin.
instruments are way easier, and like guitar. Anyone out there listening who wants to learn guitar, it's a month of sounding like shit. And then you got it. That's it. A month.
Really?
Guitar. That's what I'm saying.
For
Guitar
you,
is-
probably.
I mean, like you got to get it. Everything has its own like.
You don't even
humps
need all
to
your
get over.
fingers.
You know what I mean? Like, look, he's missing.
He's missing half a
bunch.
finger. He can still
Missing
play
a bunch
like.
of hand.
Is that true?
That is true. Yeah.
You're missing
Yeah.
a finger?
That's actually one of the reasons why I'm in Nonstop today.
Because
Yeah.
he's missing a finger?
Because he lost a finger. Because he
It's
can't
kind
flip
of
you off.
crazy
We lost-
inspirational.
We lost a
can't-
finger. We
he
gained
can't
an
flip you
augie.
off. Guys, don't mind
give you a half.
Santa Claus
Oh, I
walking
give you
behind
the
you.
It doesn't. It just doesn't mean as much, Nick. I'm sorry. I'm not that angry that you did.
half man. Like,
Yeah.
if you get the right hand.
Right, he's serious.
You know if you get the right hand.
Dude,
So, do
No,
you
it's
guys
I would not be able to.
do you
but-
guys all play your favorite instrument, or do you have a favorite instrument that you don't play?
That's a great question, bro.
Like an instrument you like
Thanks.
Pretty
more
fucked
than
up,
others?
Mike.
Well, because Kevin and Andrew might have interesting answers to that. I play guitar. I love guitar. Guitar is definitely my favorite.
All right.
I like learning other instruments. I'm learning keyboards, kind of, and but guitar speaks to me in a way that no other instrument does. So I'm content.
I feel like I can express myself most through the bass. I love the sounds of other instruments. There's a lot of stuff out there that I would love to know how to play. The glass harmonica, give me a break. The
Glass harmonica.
No, harmonica.
Oh,
Harmonic. No,
The
H.
glass harmonica.
Age is silent.
Do we not know the glass harmonica?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know that one. Please.
It's the coolest instrument ever. Benjamin Franklin created an instrument
Is
called
it the
glass
shape of a
harmonica.
key?
Steve,
Oh, it's like
It
are you
is-
recording?
I think I am.
It looks
No,
like
you-
vibes.
No, it's all right.
It
I
looks
was
like
gonna see if you want to look up a glass harmonica.
Oh, please look it up.
With a silent,
Like, and-
with a
and we
silent
could put it
H.
up there.
No, all right. So it's like vibes or marimbas.
use that
Like it
computer.
looks like that. It has a
Just
pedal
use that and airplay it.
and it has glass bowls.
Glass harmonica.
It has
Without an
glass
H. It's not a
bowls.
harmonica.
Can you smoke it?
On top of it, right?
I get it has water. It has
put it in a
has
pipe.
Yeah, you could definitely smoke it. Give me an ounce in a few minutes, and I'll give you something to smoke out of.
What's Andrew's
So-
favorite?
That's my favorite answer.
About
to that.
glass bowls.
Glass. Sounds of a glass.
Is that it?
Saxophone.
That's it.
A glass harmonica.
That is the sideways version of it, but the original one was laying down. Dude, it's dope. It's the coolest instrument
Looks like
ever.
a conch shell.
I
Ben Franklin.
I wasn't kidding. I wasn't
Is that
kidding.
Ben Franklin?
It looks like he's blowing glass.
This is Ben Franklin's great,
Wait, hold on, hold on. What is he
great,
saying? What
great,
is he saying?
like grand.
Let's listen.
Oh, is he playing the cups? He's
Is that a
playing the-
lathe?
He's playing the wine glass.
It's like on a motor. That's interesting.
It's on a pedal.
Wait,
He's
and
using a
and
pedal
that
to
bowl
turn it.
under the spinning thing is water because
Yeah,
he
he
puts
has
his
to wet his
fingers.
fingers.
Oh, he's got to get it
It's like
wet.
what you do on a wine glass to impress your
Oh,
date.
yeah.
Man.
I got my wife by doing that, and it's all because of Ben Franklin. Thank you, Ben Franklin.
Wow.
Hold on, folks.
That's
Write
not
this
a true
shit down.
story. That's not a true story.
Wait.
We're about to fall down a YouTube
Tinder
fucking,
tips 101.
rabbit
Oh.
hole.
I'm gonna sample this.
He's good.
That's interesting.
All right, so next time you're on here, you're playing that.
We'll find one.
How
for you.
long before the next time I'm on here? I have to get one of those first.
Yeah, so
I can't even you think you can go
can't.
to Sam
That
Ash and
thing's
rent
like
a glass harmonica?
You need a time-
$6,000
you need a
probably
time
or some
machine.
shit. And then even that bowl, you probably need a special water bowl. You can't even use a regular.
There has to be a
bowl.
certain
Special
pH
water.
balance
Yeah.
in the water.
Oh, holy
let's see,
water.
Let's see how much it costs. Let's
You
you
find
put
out.
water in this thing. It's mineral
Look,
water.
there you go.
$4,000.
Glass harmonica.
Yo, if you
$3,000 from
split
Guitar Center.
if you split the cost of it with me and give me a month, I'll be able to
Oh
go
no,
back
no,
to
not
Lenny.
$144.98. That's a poster. That's a poster of an harmonica.
$8,000 for that thing. I said $6,000. That thing was $8,000.
$8,000
Yeah,
for
$8,000.
bowls.
Start
and a
at
sink.
Start
Yeah.
at $7,800.
How do you get into that? You have to be
Just bring
just
a bunch
rich.
of wine glasses instead.
Like if you
Yeah,
learn
right?
that,
I mean, I'm down for that. It'll take a while. We'll do this.
We'll split it, guys.
Can I
We'll
keep
split
the
it.
wine in them?
I would rather learn.
won't
to
stay for
blow
long,
grass
actually.
and create one of those instead of.
oh, that's a
expensive.
project. That's a project. Yeah, you don't buy that.
Yeah, you'd probably
No.
save money doing that.
That's a gift, or you make one.
I don't trust myself with that. You know how many glass just coffee mugs I've broken over the years? Like just tripping up the stairs
Thanks,
with my
Steve.
cup of coffee in the morning. What am I gonna do with the glass harmonica? $8,000?
That's
Can't
hilarious.
do it.
You don't want to pack it up too. Like, do you have you put it in a case? Like, there's a glass harmonica case. Like, it's all this
There would have
bullshit.
to be a glass harmonica
thing's
guy,
probably like $6
like a
grand.
guy that
You'd have to
is
be the most
paid
gentle
to move
person
the glass harmonica.
on the planet to play that shit.
You can't have that in New York. It would just break.
Yeah, that would.
So what else? What
Either-
other?
either
what
And
other
then
your
you'll be
favorite
like, I
instruments?
used to
From
have a
sheer
glass harmonica.
environment. Yeah.
I used to have the dopest glass harmonica. Yo, in high school, I fucking ripped the glass harmonica. I played trumpet.
Oh, I know exactly.
What's it called? That's what I want to learn.
Yeah, but
In
it's
horror
not like
movies?
A real instrument.
Yeah, it is.
It's
one instrument.
Yeah, but you're not gonna play a song on it. You're gonna just make noise on it. Like it's.
I can't remember what it's called. I can't take out my phone, right? This is phone free.
What do you mean? No.
No, it's.
I,
It doesn't matter what the name is. Like it's just a bunch of tubes and fucking like it makes noise, springs, right?
It makes
all
all
that
those like
stuff.
creepy sounds, right? I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You use
What's
a
it called?
bow on
Dude,
it.
what is it called?
Right?
we lost Steve. He was our lookup guy.
Like a a bow that you would bow a violin with.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
It's the same
It's like
instrument
these
that they
spikes.
make Godzilla's noise off.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's not a musical instrument. It's
That shit is that's
You can't shit on his
best
dreams, bro.
noises.
I like,
All we
I like
do-
you defending it.
Iconic noises, maybe. Maybe
It's
not
like
one of the best
weird
noises, but one of the
like,
most
that's what you
iconic.
want to do.
The, You'll always remember that
That's what I
Godzilla
wanna
noise.
do.
But like, wouldn't you rather make something that can do that? Like
no,
No.
I want that. It's made for that. Why do I need to make it?
It's already made.
Yeah.
Why reinvent the wheel?
It's been made.
Yeah, I mean,
That's my answer. Short answer. That's what I want to play.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Which instrument again?
Oh, that one.
It's not going to be so short, is it?
I wasn't paying attention.
there's this other
We're
one
looking it up.
that's like beautiful. It's like that. It makes weird noises, but there's water. A lot of like it's either underwater or it uses water in some way, and I can't remember the name of it.
wait, is there a way we could Google it?
He's he's looking up his haunted house one right now.
Oh,
It's called a water phone.
Yeah,
A
I think it's
water
just the water
phone.
That's it.
Ryan, would you throw that on the screen? Would you want to do that?
Water phone demo.
Water phone demo.
Nick, you made one of those one time.
Oh god.
Dropped his phone in the middle of Zach's Bay behind
Get
the
ready.
beach.
This is what I want to play.
That's still us.
It's like you want to play something that sounds just like
doesn't-
Nick.
Whoa.
Yeah, the
whoa,
Apple
whoa.
That was
TV.
it. That sound right
That's
there.
the one.
So you only got to learn one note.
All
You should
you
be
do
able
is
to do
hear
that.
Thanks,
You should
Brad.
be able to do that. How much?
The original Richard Waters water phone.
Isn't that Scientology? Oh,
Oh, it's an umbrella without the outside.
What the hell?
it looks like a
It's
world.
protecting you
Looks
from
like the
the
World
rain.
Series trophy.
That
when you're in
sounds
the World
amazing.
Series.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
Yeah. There, yeah. Use the bow.
Well, that's definitely horror
Oh,
film.
wow.
Creep
Yeah.
you out. Like,
What are you really?
Things just got interesting.
Why
All
is
right,
it
man.
called?
I mean,
All right,
honestly,
man.
my
I don't
mind-
wanna
my mind
really
has changed
play
a
it,
little
okay?
bit.
We took it all the way to the end.
Why is it called a water phone?
Wanna
Thank
play.
you.
Okay, we're finished here.
Oh, you're still on that?
Yo, but looking at it now,
would
it's
be cool
way.
to
I mean,
try.
I can't lie.
If I
That,
could
It's way
rephrase the
cooler.
that
question
looks
into what
that
would I want to play?
That looks like an
Right.
Anna
So-
Wait, wait, let's have
For
one,
real,
one
though,
conversation at a time. One conversation.
What is your favorite instrument? Not this bullshit. For real.
Piano.
Nice.
All
Wow.
right. And now
I
it
have,
comes
like,
out.
The utmost respect. I think that every
around the bush.
musician should start by learning the keys. And I started learning the sax, which I appreciate, and it's my favorite instrument by far. And I played the baritone sax starting in elementary school. And my neck strap was a mop with a leather belt attached to it.
Oh my god.
And I wish I learned keys first because I'm trying to learn now and I'm like getting there. But if I take a day off, it's like taking a month off. And
It's in the same key, so I feel like it's not.
No.
I did the opposite. I learned keys when I was young, and then I played saxophone, alto, tenor, and bari starting in
think it
4th
helps?
grade. What?
you think it has
Oh,
to
yeah?
help, right?
I was. It was for me. It was easy to read music, but if I pick up a saxophone, it's just play by ear. I can't read music anymore. I haven't read it in years, but I feel
Mike,
like
we
because
have
it was in the same
band
key.
practice every Tuesday, Thursday.
Yeah?
Swing
You
by,
got you got an alto or a
dust
bari.
off
I'll
that
hop
horn,
on.
boy.
Oh man,
No, I
Mike's
used-
joining.
I used to rent mine $55 a year from the school. That was it.
That's
I wish
good.
I wish I
good
played the
rental rate.
soprano. That was the only saxophone that they wouldn't let me play because they were like, "There's no parts for it," and I always wanted to learn the
Yeah.
soprano.
Also, you're gonna. Suck.
Kenny G, baby.
Like you're
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
know.
so out of
I was
tune
so
as a
told.
child.
I had about 3 or 4 people telling me that you
You'd
will
be
never
so
be
out
able
of
to
tune.
make a soprano sax sound good starting out, because apparently like the sound that Kenny
That's all
G
the more
has
reason
is
to
just
do it.
so yeah.
No, it's the reason to start
And then
with an easy one like tenor. No, I'm just kidding.
Tenor was I didn't like the tenor.
start
Tenor
on
of the 3, that was my least favorite. I like the alto
Clarinet.
and the bari.
I prefer Barry, but
Tenor
it just
was my
didn't
favorite.
Didn't fit with all
I
the
wish I
bands
learned to
wanted.
read.
My music teacher told me I was never going to be tall enough to play the bari, and then I played the bari for about 3 years. I got too serious in high school though, so I
Yeah,
stopped
that
in high
shut
school.
him up.
There's
Yeah,
a
it did.
bass sax. There's a contrabass. There's like even bigger saxophones.
Don't you need like a ladder to play those?
Yeah. You
What's
stand on a stool.
Those are yeah.
Oh, wait,
those
wait,
are
like the
insane.
contrabass?
Contrabass. That's the biggest.
I never even heard of that one.
It's stupid. It's a gimmick. But
Oh.
like it
I've heard of the
exists.
bass sax. I've seen those things. That's a
Yeah,
big
that's
instrument.
right after baritone.
Yeah.
The contrabass is, yeah. It's big.
It's like a sousaphone if it were a woodwind. Yeah.
A sousaphone. If it, I'm just not even. I don't understand any of it.
Material.
Sousaphone. If it weren't a woodwind, like that's a different language for me.
That's
You should have signed up in 4th grade.
My bad. I went to.
You
I
wear
took
it.
general music. I didn't even take anything. I took general music education. I never played an instrument. All
Nah,
of
I like band.
anything.
Like I said, up until high school, then marching band kicks in, and then they're like, "Oh, you got to go to every football game and every soccer game, and you got to
So
play
amazing.
in March." I'm like, "No, I got a
That's why I
job. I'm
quit.
not a football player. I got a job."
I just want to play the music. I don't want to
Support.
Yeah,
Need you
exactly.
to support. Do you guys have a favorite song that you'd like to perform the most?
I feel like there's zero chance we agree on what that would be.
it might be that it might be Phrygian. It might be that intro song. That shit.
That
was
that
dope.
sounds fun.
It was
It's
a-
just so
sounds really fun to
it's
play.
just so fun to get a show started that way.
Yeah, that has
Yeah.
been fun.
gets the crowd going.
Everyone takes a solo, you know.
Everyone features something they're good at during that song.
Do you,
Yeah.
do you
What would
guys?
consider, like,
I
a
do
big
like
success
Lighthouse.
song? Oh,
To
sorry.
me, I really like Lighthouse. We don't always get to play it live because it's so like I don't know.
Lighthouse
know why.
Lane is up there.
Lighthouse Lane is the closer on Dabble Heavy, and it's very different than any other song on that album. It's got a different vibe to it. But we play it sometimes. Sometimes we play it at shows, and it goes over very well. Sometimes we play it, and it's like, ooh, that probably wasn't the right spot.
Yeah, there's a wrong time to play that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a right and a wrong time for most of
For a lot of songs, I feel.
music.
Yeah. What do you play the crowd? Like you feel it out? Like what you're gonna play? What
Well,
order?
Sometimes we'll have a set list written out, and then like if things just don't feel quite right, we'll
Yeah,
call
just a backup
audibles.
song or something.
Start
or
throwing
if you're actually a smart band and actually serious about what the fuck you're doing, you'll look at the other groups that you may be playing with and kind of allocate towards that. If they're playing a little heavier, maybe you'll either go the opposite just to stand out, or kind of play in that genre with the songs that you have that kind of work.
Yeah.
You know,
Switch
so,
it up
yeah.
from what they did.
Somewhat mind games, prior to even
It's chess.
jamming with
Little bit.
other groups.
It's a balance. It's a balance because you want to make sure that you're retaining your fans that are expecting something from you while playing to the crowd of the other people's. Like everyone says, another thing about it, and then another thing with Epi, like I said, just says what he feels and he doesn't hold back at all. So when I was talking to him about bands that we possibly could open up for, he wouldn't refer to it as us playing direct support or opening up for a band. He said, "Whose fans do you want to steal?" That's how he said. That's how he pitched that to me. Tell me some bands that you want to steal their fans. Whose fans do you think you could steal? He wouldn't say open up for.
That's funny.
That's a good way to put
But
it.
in the end, that is exactly what you're doing. You're trying to play with these people so that you get their fans to like you. So you got to play a little bit to what they're doing and
Yeah.
to what
Very true.
the show or the night has. But with Nonstop, we're lucky because we have a little bit of all of it in our repertoire. I think.
That makes me think of. I don't know if you guys are you guys into hip hop and like rap and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like remember that Kendrick Lamar song "Control" when he came out and killed everyone like a few years ago? He called out everyone.
Yeah.
Like hip hop. Yeah.
Yeah.
He says something in there like he's trying to raise the bar higher. I'm trying to make your core fans never heard of you. Like.
Right.
He's trying to raise the bar.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what it is. That I think everybody, no matter what level you're on, you're always trying to one up or there's an inherent like
Competition.
It's-
human.
It's always friendly competition.
Yeah.
I just never noticed it as much in the band genre of things, like circle, but it's heavy.
It is?
It's way more than
Jay-Z.
you would ever know. And
Jay-Z?
I just think the nature of competition just kind of goes with music in general. It's not only hip hop. Yeah, it's definitely
In
a
there.
bit- Oh yeah, because everybody's got their cliques and stuff. You get with a circle of guys who have kind of come out in the years you came out, and you're running tours with them. You're making your money. Do you really feel in a business where you're trying to make a living off of your dreams that you want another group who might be younger, might be doper, and give them a chance, and then you lose that?
Yeah.
That's why there's like circles and stuff. I see it way more than I ever thought I would in this genre because it's like supposed to be peace, love, and nah, bro.
Well, you don't. It's low key because like in hip hop, there's diss tracks that come out. You guys aren't throwing diss tracks out.
No. It doesn't happen here really.
Yeah.
There might be like a little word said here and there, but it doesn't mean too much. But it's kind of like who's let into certain venues, certain things that you can tell, you see it, it's blatant, but it is what it is.
Do you guys have an experience where like you've been like shit, like because of someone else competition? Like, have you ever had that where you couldn't get into a certain venue, or like you needed to fight to get into something?
Like most definitely, like there might be like something happens with one of the members in our group, and they're talking or messing with somebody else, and it goes south. So then that person's like, no festival. It'll happen. Right. It's it happens to a lot of bands. They don't talk about it. Obviously, it's not that big a deal. It's part of the business, but you got to learn that.
So you only have a certain
when you're serious about it, shit is real out here.
There's only a certain amount of venues, and in those certain amount of venues, there's only ever going to be a show that like fits your exact genre, like what you're doing, like ever so often. So you have all the bands that are in your genre, like trying to vie for that one opening spot, for that one show, for that one band that can take you on the road or give you more exposure, or whatever it is, and there's politics involved about why people get one thing or the other. But you know what? It's just the game. It's not like
it's with
like I don't overthink of it. It's
really,
just everything.
like
it's everything.
every job,
it's the only way to get ahead.
Yeah, it's how you deal with people.
Yeah, like, and Nonstop's always taken the path that we were always game to help other people with whatever we had. We don't have everything, but we want to try to help you. Like you could take the little bit we have. Why not? Like let's try to make something bigger, and that's the only way to push you forward.
Hell yeah.
And that's Long Island's had a lot of, since we started, has a lot of things going for it. In the last probably like 5-6 years.
Coming up.
I mean,
I think so.
Yeah. I feel like Long Island
support than
had
there
a lot
was.
going for it, but now the support's kind of more towards the independent bands like evolving, getting better. These younger bands like coming out and having creative music instead of everybody going out and listening to cover bands, which is no problem at all. It's just we're in like an age group where you kind of see it like who's old. It's slowly like dividing. I'm seeing it at least now, and like a lot of younger kids who I've never seen before coming to our shows, and I'm like, holy shit, okay, so we are making noise out here. And then like the older crowd who used to come to our shows when like we were younger, I've noticed, we go to cover band shows and relax and have dinner with the kids.
Yeah,
it's how it goes.
Yeah,
that's just
you're seeing them evolve.
Yeah, for you to really want to do something like I said like in this industry.
Why is that funny? Yep. Why you can't say like?
No, not at all.
Like?
I just I've noticed certain people have like tendencies when they're called out on something or they're nervous, so they'll repeat.
Oh yeah, it's like a filler word. Like
that's my
yeah. I do those.
Like,
I think it's also just because like when people are baked, it's like
that zombie talk.
Yeah, that's all good.
But getting back to what I was saying, like for the guys and girls and the artists and the people who are creators and just innovators and doing something that is not the 9 to 5. It takes more than a lot. It does take everything. Sometimes it takes more than everything. And then you have a group of guys who all get together and they want the same thing. Like imagine the stuff that's coming away from your life to really do what you love. I mean, that's everybody in this room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You all have dreams and admirations, and yet, some of you...
Aspiration.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good word.
And admirations, probably.
Yeah, there's some of those.
For people who are doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you kind of want to get to that level at the same time. It's like the lotto.
It's more than thinking you're going to make it. It's knowing you are.
Exactly.
It's just living there.
So there's a mindset to it. And, we created a business off of this. Like, our boys, we pay taxes, for our shit. We have an established business. And it took a lot from where we were because we were just kids trying to play music and wanting to be out there and, takes another level for you to really be taken seriously and know that your art is something that is even beyond like what you're making in that room right now. It transcends that and it connects with people because they feel that. They feel that struggle of, you know, being out here hustling, doing what you love and sometimes not getting paid for it. And it takes time.
Yeah.
You get old and gray. Some of these people haven't been breaking until they're like in their 40s.
Yeah.
Great example. And
Pointing
I
at me 'cause
listen.
I
I
have
listened to
gray
this man
in
as
Am I
though I'm
gray?
sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, I was. Andrew drove me out here tonight because I was exhausted today. And I appreciate that, bro. But someone who came on the radio, who I've been listening to of late the last couple of years, and sadly he passed away. Charles Bradley. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this man, soul singer. Like, I mean, the closest thing to James Brown, like, we had in the last 10 years. You have to YouTube this man.
You want to hit
I mean,
Charles Bradley up there?
he put a tear in my eye. One of the first tracks I ever heard, and it's just that voice. And
Please.
you know, he finally got famous and only had like 2 years where his that main song that he had that I was like, whoa, it put me in a place. Was on a TV show, was it, Andrew? Like some TV show.
I saw him with Trombone Shorty.
Okay.
At
Song with
the
Trombone Shorty.
Capitol Theater.
Really?
That's in like Beacon. Where's that? Upstate New York.
Yeah, somewhere in Westchester.
And he
Charles
opened up
Bradley.
for Trombone Shorty.
Changes. That's
Changes?
it. That's the one.
Yep.
That's the one.
That's your boy.
Jesus. Man's voice is. And you know, he's been through a lot. Like if you look at his background story, it's
Man's
powerful.
looking at me
man.
like I did something wrong, though.
It's powerful, man.
He's been through a lot.
You into Sharon Jones? No.
No, I mean years ago.
She had a similar story. She was a soul singer. She finally had her own thing, and then she was 61, got cancer, and died.
Got
People
cancer,
say.
just died,
But like she
passed away.
finally she put out 2 albums. She was a background.
Oh, you
This
guys
so-
trying to feel something?
Yo. Is that him?
The song's about his
That's
mother.
him, yeah.
Oh.
He lost his wife too.
And he lost his wife, his mother and his wife.
Oh, shit. It's like an Eminem song too, like the chorus. I'm going through change. That is.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that is an Eminem.
That's the TV show he got famous off of because of this. I mean, obviously, I feel like he was well off famous prior to that, but he blew off of the exposure of Big Mouth, and you know, it's a shame to have seen somebody who used to be a James Brown imitator to jumping to do his own thing, fighting, you know, heroin addiction, going through all of that to finally become famous for 2 years and then pass away, you know? And it just goes to show, for me, like,
It's all
artist
about the journey,
determination.
baby.
It's all about the journey. It's all about that being creative and just continuing working on your craft, because at the end of the day, you're only here for so many years, guys. So, like,
If
do
you don't
what
really love it,
what's the point of being here? Not doing what you love, man. Doesn't make sense.
YOLO.
Yes, boy. YOLO.
I mean, that guy's amazing. I love that. Charles Bradley. You see he's feeling it. You could just see
That's
it.
just like right there on his face.
That's how
That is
you
pain.
know. Yeah.
That's what pain
he's being
embodies.
real. Yeah, like
That's a dope video, also.
damn. Change.
So with that being said, you know, I mean, we are Nonstop to Cairo, and we did do some live performances here tonight and
Yeah,
a
man.
live interview with our man Joe Rizzo. Rizzo
Dude,
on
that
the
was
move.
2 hours.
That was 2 hours to see.
2 hours.
Time flew by. We didn't even want to try to be up here that long, but it just kind of went, and that's
Yeah.
nice. That's organic.
So we like to end the podcast where I think I might already know because based on what you've been talking about. But if you had a message for the world, and you had any amount of time, you could say like everyone's listening to you. They're actually going to listen. What would you tell them?
Ooh, I got one.
All right, Nick.
Put your phone down. Look up.
After you watch this podcast.
Look up. There's a big world out there, and enjoy the people that are in front of you instead of the phone that's in front of you.
I have one that piggybacks off of that.
Yeah.
I saw a buddy guy play once, and he walked out onto the stage and he picked up his guitar and he said, "Y'all invited me here, now I have to let you know that I'm here." And I feel like that's important, is that when you're invited somewhere, to let those people know that you're there, however that is that you do.
Yeah. We're all the same.
Yeah.
We're all people.
I like that.
Kev?
Oh, and also come out on December 14th, My
Yeah,
Father's Place.
Friday the 14th, My Father's Place. We're going to
gonna be a
be
good show.
having a dope show with Circadian Rhythm, SCR. And yeah,
I'll put the link in the description.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
And where do we follow you? Nonstop to Cairo on Instagram, everything? Twitter, you're on
Yeah,
there?
everything is Nonstop to Cairo, Instagram, Twitter.
We're not on Tumblr anymore because they got rid of porn.
I saw an article.
I saw that. It's been going around the last couple
So-
days.
What do you mean? I
No
didn't
more
know they
porn
had
on Tumblr.
Yeah, no
Tim,
more
there was
So
Tumblr
no more
porn?
Tumblr.
So there's no.
Tumblr porn.
no
That
reason
seems
to
like,
be on
why are you going to
Tumblr
go to
anymore.
Tumblr for porn?
With that being said, Balcony is dropping very, very soon. That is our next single, produced out of Sabella Studios. Will Harris, Jim Sabella, Haja, thank you very much for that opportunity.
Boom.
And we've got some merch on the way.
Yeah.
So be sure to check us out in these upcoming shows, and be sure to be on the IG because the feed is like,
Fire. Thank you so much for coming on, guys.
Thank you for having
Thank
us, bro.
you.
Yeah,
You
thank you,
guys
boys.
are amazing. Yeah.
This was great. This was the best podcast yet.
I would say so. It might be. It's up there. Nah, definitely.
Wait, didn't you say this is the first?
Not even close.
If we're not
All
even
right.
the best and we're the
Digging the
first,
dual
you know that's
casting
pretty bad.
couch.
Have a good day, everyone. Have a good night, maybe whatever you're doing.
This is Rizzo on the move.
Yes? Used to be. It was.
Good night, all.
Peace.
Where's the thing?
Did you hit stop yet?
Where's the say stop?
No, Rizzo.
Stop this thing, Rizzo.
Rizzo. Rizzo. I don't know how to stop. Rizzo, come turn this off.
Yo, Steve, turn this off.
We don't know how to turn it off.
What are you trying to do?